folks, it is the series wrap party of Join the Party. We did it! Woo!
Wahoo!
I brought cucumber cream cheese sandwiches.
That's so funny because I'm picturing myself in high school at cast parties and I'm bringing a lukewarm Poland Spring water bottle half filled with my parents' vodka.
Wow.
Hey, those go really well together. You get some like cucumber, dip it in the vodka. That's cucumber vodka, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Doritos Locos Casserole.
Oh.
I've never been to your house before, so I'm 20 minutes away and I'm gutting around. And the MapQuest directions are not helping.
Oh, no.
MapQuest taking me back. Folks, it is here, the supersized after party. And I think before we get into anything else, we have to say thank you for your incredible messages, for the outpourings of love, for the fan art, for the reflections. We love you guys, and this is an incredible community, and I'm sure we will say lots of sappy things as we go on. We're going to cover the end of Campaign 4. We're going to cover each of the other campaigns we have done here on Join the Party and all kinds of fabulous questions. Plus, at the end, what is next for all of us. So, ready to get started?
Whoa.
Yeah,
Let's do
it.
First, the section I've titled, Why?
It's a good voice.
Elsa J says, when did you decide this would be the last campaign? What factors did you consider when making your decision? I'll miss you guys so much. Tuesdays won't be the same. So yeah, around October, we decided that we would set like a goal of the set number of episodes to get to the finish and to wrap up the campaign. So when we started Campaign 4, that was not necessarily the plan, but over time that became the thing that we wanted to set a goal on and then figure out that we are going to be bringing the campaign to a close. So one of the things we will be talking about in Campaign 4 is what we could have touched on if the campaign went further. But that was general timeline.
Yep.
Yeah. During the winter break arc is when that started to change. So I had to make a lot of changes to what I was anticipating when I first started the campaign around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And Tuesdays won't ever be good. So if you want to make them better, you do have to re-listen. That's the law.
Yeah.
It's several hundred episodes, so you could definitely listen to a different Join the Party episode every day for like a few years, and that'll get you through maybe a whole like Olympic rotation of Tuesdays.
Or you could listen to them all on the same Tuesday every Tuesday.
Oh.
That's maybe with some like N64 time travel technology.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
That'd be
possible.
Mixel91 says, did knowing this would be the last campaign change the way you played it? How difficult was the decision?
Yeah, I think that we definitely approached the ending in a way that we probably weren't anticipating. But I think that it was important, at least to me as a player, to feel like I gave Craft sort of closure in finishing up the way we did.
Yeah, I don't think it changed anything about how I played. I think probably the only thing that changed was timelines, like and truncating arcs and stuff, or not truncating, but squishing plots together. But I don't think as players, I don't think anything we did changed, or at least speaking for myself.
For all the campaigns, we know when an arc is the last arc. Like we talk about it, how many episodes do we think is left? That way we have a sense of wanting to get through all those character moments that we want to. And so same in this situation for me, of knowing that like I wanted to use Rowan's moment of truth. I wanted to, maybe have some discussions that I thought would come in the future. But like when the future was now, then it was time to have them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was definitely a difficult decision. Like I think I speak for all of us when I say we love the show, we love making it, we love you all, and overall it was time. One of the big things that has changed between 2017 when we started the show and now is that podcasting has gotten a lot harder to sustain. The show takes a long amount of time to make, that always has. And like when we say in mid-rolls and in the show, like we need your support on Patreon to make this work or else we can't. That was absolutely true. And soon, it's a great idea from Brandon, I think, that he and Eric and I will work on, is talking about and posting like our revenue from the show over the last 9 years, what we made from Patreon, from ads, from live shows, from merch, and seeing kind of how that changed over time. But took, more time or resources with less money is also one of the factors here.
Yeah. Just generally speaking, revenue over time has dipped a little bit overall podcasting, unless you're the Joe Rogan, like it's stratifying a little bit. But yeah. This was never a show that we could have made without having jobs, like full-time jobs. Like, and when we worked for Multitude, it wasn't this show that was sustaining us fully. So like, yeah, this is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say, like, I'm pretty upset that the show's over. Like, this was my main creative practice. This was, I don't have this was also my tabletop RPG table, which I don't have. And I had a lot of identity around making and having a actual play show. So definitely still, I mean, just because we're recording this last episode doesn't mean like I'm okay with it or like I'm happy or like I'm dealing with it just as much as you guys are, all the listeners are. So it's still definitely complicated, even though we recorded the last fictional episode like weeks ago, and we recorded the one shot for the Working Families Party, like that was last week, and party planning yesterday. But still, there's definitely going to be time to figure out, to feel feelings. For me, it's definitely time to feel feelings about what's going on.
And I hope that all of us get to, rest and figure out what comes next, what parts of this experience we want to bring to future projects, and work on new stuff this year and next year that like our 2017 selves could hardly have dreamt of, which I'm excited to see.
Now, this is a point that I must say, Amanda, Eric and I started the show 2016. You joined 2017.
That's true.
This is the discrepancy.
Right.
Wow.
We started this when Brandon and I got drunk at a Sirius XM happy hour.
It was in December, yeah.
Yeah, said, what if a D&D show was good?
10 years indeed then. Thank you for that.
I was listening to like every single one that was out there because my job at Sirius XM was to do that and curate those episodes. So I listened to probably every single first episode of every single actual play podcast that existed in 2016.
Yeah.
Which is definitely not the same number that exists now, for sure.
Nope.
But...
No. Yeah, actually, actual play started in 2021. I don't know if you
Right. I've heard that.
Another question in from Jeff. What will be the fate of the Patreon now that the show is ending? And it's me, Danny B, said it also, but in a way I just need to read. Putting on my dad/Amanda hat for a moment, parentheses, Amanda's daddy, I don't know what else to say. How is the Join the Party specific Patreon support going to function going forward? I want to financially support you all and your endeavors, and also want to have access to the ad-free episodes for re-listens. Excellent question. I'm going to put a post up on Patreon with more of these details so you can read them through. So you can go to patreon.com/jointhepartypod right now to read it. But basically, this is the top level stuff. Patreon is going to stop charging you starting in March. So if whatever your last charge was from the Join the Party Patreon, that will be the last one. If you are currently a member, you're not going to get charged again, but you will keep access to everything that you currently have access to. So you have indefinite amount of time to download anything you want, audio files, video, PDF, text posts that you like, anything, you will have access to that. And if that ever changes, we'll send you a message.
Yeah, you can download Brandon's Soul too.
It exists on Patreon.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, I only listen to Brandon's Soul, but it has ads on it.
Ah, dang. Yeah, I got ad-free Brandon's Soul.
Yeah, I only have I'm only at the $5 tier.
Speaking of, if you are not a member, but you do want something like, I don't know, the ad-free archive of Join the Party's campaigns, you can do that. Patreon lets you just like do a one-time purchase, like buy the ad-free catalog, buy the whole catalog of party planning. We have a best of party planning collection, whole bunch of stuff available to you, a bunch of previous live shows, all of that stuff. Right now and indefinitely into the future, you can just purchase for a one-time charge from Patreon and download it so that you own it forever. Also very exciting, something that's important to all of us, our Discord community is our heart and soul, and that will remain. In fact, it is not just now for patrons, but as of today, open to the public. So if you're already in there, nothing will change except you're going to meet new friends. And if you've always wanted to join the Discord but have not been able to join the Patreon, now you can click the link in the description of this episode and join the Discord.
Yeah.
Cool. It's really nice in there.
It is.
Don't mess it up while we're not looking, folks. Keep it cool.
We'll fight you.
And if you have any questions, you can comment on the public Patreon post. You can ask us in Discord. We will be there.
Yeah.
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 And we decided that we're not going to read the many tearful and beautiful messages that we have received from people about what the show has meant to them. We are screenshotting them, saving them for ourselves. We love your words, and like, please keep sending them in. But I did just want to read this one from Mixel, which is, for the final time while the show is still active, the Join the Party baby is celebrating her 6th birthday.
Wild.
She was born in between campaigns 1 and 2. The Bachelorette Party arc was my comfort listening during labor. She's as optimistic as Tracy, as confident as Val, and as silly as Troy. And now she's 6.
What?
Wild.
Wild.
Crazy. That's incredible.
We love you.
I can't believe we birthed the baby. All 4 of us.
Mixel, I know you were there, but like, the credit goes to us. All right, folks, shall we begin with the end of Campaign 4?
Yeah. Still fresh in our mind.
Let's go. I'm going to start with a question from Miss Callie that's also been on my mind. So, Julia, sit up. Miss Callie says, the fact that we know Kraft has this whole backstory that she's died but doesn't know the details, mind blown emoji. Was she born a normal girl, died, and Prometheus brought her back together and thus back to life? Is more of a traditional Frankenstein's monster story where she was made from parts of people and she's remembering coming back to life? Did you ever want to explore her backstory more, or are you glad it's open/ambiguous?
In part, I am kind of glad that it's open/ambiguous, but in my mind, it was always the case of Kraft was a normal human child. Some weird science experiment went wrong. Kraft died, and then Dr. Prometheus, being Dr. Prometheus, brought her back to life. That was my thought process on that, because that is what the Scion is as a whole, like specifically, is like, you are just the child of this villain. It is not like they didn't make you in a lab. They didn't birth you from the ether. You are like the biological child of this villain. And so I thought it was important to have Kraft have like a second birth, in the sense that Kraft was reborn as Kraft and not as this like innocent child that was raised by Dr. Prometheus.
Did you have like a cool scene where you like raised up out of like a vat of ooze?
No,
like,
it was real traditional Frankenstein, I
so you got
think.
shocked by electricity and you
Yeah,
went,
I think so. Weather powers,
Yeah.
There's no goo in weather.
When you died from the science experiment, did all your limbs pop off and they had to reattach them? Or was like that just a side effect of the...
Whatever you think, personally. All the limbs popped off is very funny visually, though.
And Julie, is that something that you shared with Eric in your backstory and like preparing your playbook?
No, I think I kind of decided it halfway through the campaign specifically, because I was like, this had to be something. And I don't know how Kraft is maybe feeling about this emotionally, but if it comes up in conversation, worth chatting about.
I think it works both ways, like, and I think it's still a question to me of like whether or not was Kraft always Dr. Prometheus's child?
Yes.
Okay. See, that's because I think that would work both ways. But yeah, it's like as soon as you become a science experiment, then Dr. Prometheus is like no longer your dad, but like the way that he is. Like that's why he treats you the way that he does, because he definitely didn't like learn how to be like a regular ass dad at any point.
Precisely.
A regular ass dad. Because his
no,
ass was
that's Milo, Brandon.
I'm daddy. Milo is ass dad. And Prometheus is dad ass. Question from Opaque Connor. Are Emily Slaughter and Emilio Slaughter twins? I don't know whether I'm more mad at their parents if they are or if they aren't.
I want to start by saying that I went to summer camp with twins named Merrick and Eric.
Oh,
that
crazy.
Sucks.
Yes.
Bad parents.
Correct answer, Brandon. So to that point, they are twins. Emily Slaughter and Emilio, yeah.
I will say, Amanda and I also went to school with twins whose names were Neil and Sue Neil.
That one's kind of cooler.
Isn't that like traditional though for Indian children?
But they're not spelled the same.
Oh, I always assumed whenever I hear about Neil and Sunil, I assumed it was this. They were spelled the same.
No, Neal and Sunil.
Yes,
that's kind of cool.
That's weird.
Neil would often joke that Sunil's name just meant lesser Neil, which is tough.
Or two. They told me once that they meant 1 and 2.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
When you're a twin, you gotta have a sense of humor.
My twin brother and I were almost Cameron and Carson, and I think about that Twice a week.
Dodgeable up there.
Would you have been Cameron or Carson?
Brandon, what do you think?
I think Cameron.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Hence the next top character, Cameron, which you can go back and listen to.
There you go.
Question from Mike. What does Emilio remember from when he was a sword? And how does he feel about that?
I didn't get a lot of time with Emilio, and I love that these are the first two questions, like questions we're talking about when we're talking about Campaign 4. Like where Emilio has like one scene where he's having brunch after getting brought back to life. God, like he's just enjoying it. I think it's fun not getting into like his interiority because he's just like, look at what Rowan did. Now this guy exists. Like, I don't know, man. Like he just loves that he can eat pastries. What a life.
What a life.
What a life.
Listen, if my life didn't include pastries and then later did, that version is better. Bento Cato says, I had so much fun listening to the most recent arc. The music choices during the fights have been super engaging. How did you guys decide the extent to which Rowan's moment of truth could impact the narrative? Is that a move that can only be used once a game? And have any of the characters not used their moment of truth? So yes, this is something that you unlock as part of the basically leveling up. The times that we took new moves or borrowed things from other playbooks, one of the options you can do after you do a certain number of level ups is unlock the ability to use this moment of truth. And you have two options to use it over the campaign if you then like kind of earn the second one. But Julia, you didn't use yours. And I know we talked a little bit in the last after party about what that was and what it could have been, but do you want to say more now?
Sure. I didn't get a chance to use my moment of truth. I think my game plan was originally to use it in the same moment that Rowan did. Amanda just got to it before me, and I was like, you know what? Fair enough. You haven't used it either. Totally fair for you to take the moment to do that. I think if I had used the moment of truth in that situation, I was going to force the Christian Devil and Wraith to confront each other and also to sort of have a father-daughter moment, because as we like kind of established, Wraith is definitely the parallel to Craft, the foil to Craft in this season. And so I think that would have like made a lot of sense for Craft to use that. It didn't end up happening, obviously. I think if Eric hadn't been so willing to let Craft and Wraith have that moment in Bad Louise, I maybe would have used my moment of truth there, but it didn't seem necessary, and so we just kind of passed it up. And I don't really regret not using it. I think the scene and the outcome is exactly what I wanted it to be.
You know, to that point, like Wraith was really not involved in the story of the last fight sequence of the what did I end up calling it, of the Diablo plan. So it's like, so she's like, if she's not involved, then she doesn't really get to participate unless someone shoved her in, like unless you had done that. So that's why we had those last two episodes and we could deal with Wraith in a different way.
For sure.
We had some great questions, too, about kind of the intersection between Campaign 2 and Campaign 4 with, you know, the callbacks to some of our original characters and getting set in this world. So here's one from Marin. I love Join the Party. It got me into D&D, and I've been listening since Campaign 1.
Thanks.
Looking back, are you satisfied while revisiting an old world, or did it in any way feel limiting because there was so much established background? Did you feel that your old characters were represented well? How did you come to the decision to involve them, yet quite literally throw them away immediately afterward? Love your work, and I look forward to what's next. Eric, do you want to start with that?
Yeah, wait, hold on. Did someone not feel like their old characters were represented well?
My character's ass wasn't large enough in this iteration. So
Mine wasn't here and may or may not be alive.
I felt great.
Yeah, well, again, to Brandon and Amanda, remember, you both consented to literally these fictional choices. These are literally not on me.
I did not consent to you having not a large enough ass, Eric. You did not ask that question.
It's a transparent ass now. Milo's ass is now transparent. When we started doing Campaign 4, I didn't know this would be the last campaign. So I was excited to go back to this and to kind of like flesh out LTC. But now that what ended up being at the end, I really do think that it's very different. I think when you're in high school, your hometown feels so big, and only once you kind of break out, like we ended up doing in like Lake Town City. And I think that's a theme I was trying to push there. It's like, well, you're not prepared for the end of high school, so sometimes adulthood is just going to come and grab you. And it's something I was definitely feeling as we were recording those last few episodes, that like something you weren't expecting was going to grab you and change everything. So it's just I care a lot about the school. I care a lot about Jupiter, and I think that we ended up fleshing out quite a lot of it. So I was very excited about that without really trying to touch what we had done, like really building Lake Town City like we did in Campaign 2, which was again a function when we were doing Campaign 2. It was like a function of wanting a city to be the way of like trying to re-explore a city in like 2020 and 2021 when things were so strange.
For me, having the sort of context of Lake Town City was exciting and didn't feel limiting at all. I love that world. It really lives in my head as a real place, and I think always will. So being able to be set just outside the city, mostly in our own world, but in a way that we can have the kind of cameos and just know what's going on in that like big city that's just on the horizon, I think was really cool.
Yeah, we talked about when we were making this campaign very roughly, like, we don't want to just be like rehashing Campaign 2. So we really wanted to like make a new spot that was felt that in and of itself, but without like limiting ourselves to like not being able to pull on Campaign 2 stuff if we wanted to. But yeah, so for that reason, like, yeah, I didn't feel limited at all. I feel like I could, the only thing I couldn't do is change like the mountain lobster mascot, if I wanted to. But other than that,
why would you want to?
Well, I don't know.
Excuse me.
That's crazy. I wouldn't want to.
Oh, it sounds like you have some notes about the mountain lobsters, and I have to just say I reject that.
I reject that premise entirely, actually.
I also didn't really know how else to deal with, although I wanted to introduce Volcani and Killanova too, but not Multi-Tool, because Multi-Tool is dead. Sorry. I'm like, it also demonstrates how much more power, how powerful these kids are in the high school as compared to Killanova and Volcani. I mean, like, if we're really thinking about it, like, original Milo was probably the most powerful out of everyone in the Campaign 2 group.
Was he really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, by power level, like, if you're not meeting Milo, but looking at a database, and also because of, how Dungeons and Dragons works and how much more powerful magic users are than physical combat folks. So, and yet, like, I would say, God, like 40%, 50% of the students on that train were probably more powerful than Killanova 2 and Volcani, especially old Volcani. So,
Old Connie.
I'm trying to think. Geriatric Suvio. So I think that's also something that we were demonstrating, especially because, like, a big theme of Campaign 2 was like being this second or third wave of powered folks and no one really knowing how to help you. And now we're at a point where these kids are being educated, these kids are being trained, the school is good in various ways. So these kids are going to be more powerful than our Campaign 2 characters.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I think that is something we established in Campaign 2 was the next generation was going to be more powerful, and there was going to reach a sort of boiling point in which the powers are too strong.
Yeah.
Too strong.
We were definitely, I mean, we already started to see that. Like, I mean, the Knight of Mirrors, like, just like had a motorcycle, for God's sakes. Like Sour Anthony just could fly, and now
not
we
even
have,
well.
No, not at all. And then we have Rowan. So there's a lot going on.
Question in from Emily. Great campaign. Ironically, each time y'all do a kids/teens campaign, it's right after I graduate from that grade. For the campaign, I was graduating middle school, entering high school. For this campaign, it was so close to my college semester as well. The midweek arc was about 2 weeks earlier than my own break, and this really helped me get through living in dorms for the first time.
Oh, that's good.
So cute.
Nice.
I was wondering why you decided which heroes came back from Campaign 2. So Eric, you mentioned that a little bit, wanted to honor that Multi-Tool is canonically dead, though,
yes.
The author is also dead, so make your own conclusions. And then Emily adds, I feel so duped by the Dr. Morrow switch and realized after that I should have known because where was January? Eric, was it a clue for the players that this wasn't really Dr. Morrow because our good friend January wasn't there?
Absolutely. I think it was important to me that like for Rowan to be overwhelmed by good things, and especially after her conversation with her dad, where he was like, I don't know, do the easiest thing. And I kind of figured that Rowan would like really explore everything and try to touch everything, with the conflict of like Kraft only having villain coded opportunities and Connor having none, was very important to me. That like there was also going to be like a little bit of conflict in the middle there. So I was even surprised that like running down, I feel like if you're gonna, like, it was a trap, but then you ran down that hallway with the traps in it, so I had to activate the trap.
That's fair. We did do that. We did go immediately to that laboratory and try to do a Shark Tank-esque pitch.
I know. I was like, oh, that's awesome. But you're bringing like a slide deck with you to this trap.
Uh-huh.
I think it would have been equally likely that even our arch nemesis would have been like, damn, that's a good PowerPoint. I want to fund you guys now. No more nemesis.
Mike wants to know, speaking of nemesis, what happened to the Ooze's children?
I'll take this one, Eric. You don't need to say anything.
Oh, please go ahead.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. They're off living their lives. They decided to reject their parentage, their lineage, and become strong, independent ooze adults.
Okay.
And they're helping the communities and doing good things. They read to children in the library sometimes.
They all took the Scion class of the Scion playbook.
Mm-hmm.
The Ooze's children was more to demonstrate that the Ooze is very powerful, even though you thought he was a doofus, and even though you...
Eric, I think that they're talking about the joke I made at the poker table. I don't think they're actually talking about like the break-off pieces of the Ooze.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You told me that wasn't real. You told me that didn't exist.
They're not
really
actually
the children,
but like you think of them as children. Like yes. I was introducing another power that the Ooze has, that the Ooze can split themselves.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Like the Ooze, even though Kraft did a poker switch 'em up, like the Ooze is very powerful and very scary, was what I was trying to demonstrate.
Gotcha.
Makes sense to me.
So the Ooze like can swallow them up and then spread them back out, which is why part of the Ooze was in the cloche in the first place, and Wordsmith was so consumed by feeling like he failed children that he didn't really think that went through.
Kaylee asks perhaps the most provocative question that's ever been asked on Al Gore's internet. I simply don't understand why Connor or Rowan did not date Rick Powers. As soon as he appeared in the campaign, I was like, we gotta date him for his powers, guys. This is a clear opportunity to manipulate a guy into doing the work for us. Rick X Connor for life over here. Sorry, not sorry.
Now, listen. If you're trying to date people to manipulate them into giving you things that you want, that's not a healthy...
Good job. You're doing it correct.
That's not healthy.
Maybe don't.
Don't do that.
I think Brandon was dating Rick Powers, right?
Yeah, no, Brandon specifically.
Yeah, Brandon the person.
No, Rick is too cool for me. He's out of my league.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with how that resolved. I don't know if we were going to touch on that, but like I was actually very happy with something I was really trying to push was like Rick was feeling very inferior by Rowan during the Diablo plan, and him like really getting himself involved, and like Rowan doing the moment of truth and him getting in the way and then being like really messed up by it. It's like that's what happens. And like the fight between the powers and with Voidy Lynn, that was all really cool. Especially because like I was very excited to introduce Voidy Lynn as an idea to Amanda. So like into having that contrast of Voidy Lynn and the powers inside of Rick Powers was like very cool, and him needing to deal with that and being like very no longer being a golden boy, but now being like a kind of like a weird guy now. That's just how it shakes out.
A golden man.
I would say the opposite. I would say he's not gold at all.
Library Shake asked a really interesting question that dovetails with this. Voidy Lynn mentions there are rules for powers like her and Rick's powers. What are those rules? And how do they choose someone? And then Emily followed up with, playing off of this, have Voidy Lynn and or the powers had a previous host?
The way I read that as a player was like, yeah, they probably had a previous host. Maybe not Voidy Lynn, but the powers had. But yeah, I'm curious to see what both Amanda thinks and what Eric thinks.
My headcanon for Vordy Lynn is that this is like specific to Rowan, but there are definitely people whose power has been so big that it creates kind of like a disassociation or like a sort of split. In my mind, the headcanon is like Rowan's power was something that she tried to divide herself from or keep locked away or disassociate from, to the extent that it, subliminally, in the way that like your body can respond to psychological stress that you're not dealing with, and then your body like knocks you on your ass. That was kind of her power, saying, no, like you have to figure out how to live with me, or else this is not going to work.
I hate it when my body trips me.
I know. It's very annoying.
Yeah, I agree with Amanda. That's the rules that I was talking about. Like, if you were so powerful that it manifests itself on its own. But I do kind of like the idea that Rick inherited his powers in a way, like, and if that's a very My Hero Academia sort of thing, like with what Deku did, or like with the what is it? The one for either the all for one or the one for all powers is something that gets passed down and like gets more powerful every generation. That's definitely something that's possible.
Library Chick also wants to know, who's Dakota Ring's dad?
Who fucked Miss Rita? Who fucked Miss Rita?
So gross. Why would you say that about acting principal, Miss Rita? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
All right, fair enough. Sometimes it doesn't matter who your biological father is.
It really didn't.
Kraft.
It really didn't matter to me. I think that was why I was like Miss Rita being very protective over her son while still trying to keep his superpower and his superhero anonymity. I think was kind of what I was going for.
Can I throw some fun fan fiction out there for you? Maybe Milo's dad.
Oh, Hank?
Jeez.
Maybe Hank.
Okay.
Now, maybe Milo and Dakota Ring are half siblings.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I want to get away from the rat race of the FBI. I'm going to hook up with this social worker at a school. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Whoops. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
That does seem like a very Hank Lane-coded experience, to be honest.
True.
No Hugs, Just Bugs says, for me, Dr. Prometheus went from being a big scary to my fave NPC. What NPCs did you all do a 180 on from your first impression to the end of the campaign?
I think Wordsmith.
Yes, I was prepared for Wordsmith to be intolerable, and I think he was in some ways, but his heart's in the right place, and man, them powers are so cool.
Oh, mine was the opposite, where I was like, Wordsmith is really cool, and then he went off the deep end. I was like, oh, that's bad.
I guess he became relatable to me as an adult that deals badly with profound pressure. And like, yes, it's a lot of pressure and you're dealing badly, but also you have a responsibility to children. So get it together, man.
Fair.
For me, this might be the first campaign where like no one really had a big 180. Like all my impressions were kind of like kind of spot on over. Like Rick Powers, dope as hell, coolest guy alive.
I think you might have started with hot takes and then you just held them.
That's true.
Brandon, you're going to say Lucky Edie again. It's totally fine.
No, I will never say Lucky Edie.
Don't worry. We have questions about her later.
Yeah.
No Hugs, Just Bugs also wants to know, what happened to Fatberg School after Water's Edge opened back up and Fatberg became no more?
Defunct.
It is storage for the main school now for Water's Edge.
I like in Brandon's headcanon that Fatberg built his school on the same island that Water's Edge is on.
I guarantee he did. I mean, just like piss him off,
No,
right?
he did it at the dump.
Right.
Yeah, that's not that far away. I don't know where the dump is, man.
For our
Not
garbage.
on the island.
You don't know that. Prove it.
I do know that.
I do know that. We do know
We
that.
traveled there.
We went there.
We know that because you know that because you went there.
Yeah.
And what the fuck was his name?
Obstructor Constructor.
Thank you. Obstructor Constructor was like, I hate going to the school. It's where my wife is held. But don't worry, he's gone now, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
We
he's dead.
traveled to the dump, but we didn't say how long or for where it's for.
Yeah, we traveled across the road.
Yeah,
It's true. It
exactly.
could be.
We traveled to the other side of campus to the dump.
Like, I have bad spatial reasoning in my brain, so everything is like an inch apart. So it's fine.
Honestly, best part about the show being done is that I no longer have to describe distances. Truly.
You truly were not great at describing distances.
It's hard. It's fucking hard.
The other day, someone asked me how long a yardstick was, and I was like, is this a riddle?
3 feet, right?
A
A
yard?
yard is 3 feet?
No, they were like, no, like in relationship to meters. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes way more sense.
Gotcha.
Bugs also says, for Eric, were there any villains or other NPCs that you had in your back pocket that you did not get around to? What almonds are left in that pocket?
I think there was gonna be more with Fatberg, and then there was gonna be more with the school of incredibly jacked humans who don't have powers but are incredibly jacked. So we never really got to figure that one out. But I kind of like dumped the notebook out on that stuff.
Now, is that the ones where they're all jacked regular humans but are Catholic? Is that what we decided?
I think so. Either it was a military school or it was a Catholic school. I didn't remember.
It was like vampire Catholic school, and then military humans are superior.
Right. Our mother of perpetual yummy blood or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yummy.
God, I should have done Catholic vampires. God damn it.
Yeah.
That reminds me, last weekend I was at a convent watching my friend become a nun, and just a wild turn of events in my own life.
The nun.
It was great. And at one point we were like chit-chatting while playing bingo fairly competitively with some nuns. And then I made a boisterous joke. And then one of the nuns goes, "It is important to have a sense of humor." And I was like, oh no.
Did you just get burned by a nun? Damn.
And then later she said to my friend, the nun's sister, she was like doing like a Ted Lasso chant, but about the nun and censoring out the F word. It was the Roy Kent song. And then the nun goes, "That's some outdoor energy." And I got in those two moments why we entrust nuns with the most terrifying group of humans alive, girls from 10 to 14. Like they are uniquely qualified.
Yep.
They put up with no bullshit.
It's so important to have a sense of humor.
Jesus.
Now, was your boisterous joke like a dirty joke, or like was it just a loud
It was
one?
just loud.
Well, no, it was gonna be dirty, and then I realized where I was, and so I backpedaled and said, "It's not important what the details are." And she didn't let that go.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, even post Epstein files love being Jewish. It's the best.
Stephanie K asks, is there anything in Campaign 4 you wanted to explore but didn't? Also, how have you changed since the beginning of the pod? Thank you for all of the memories. So first, what like plot lines remained? What areas could we have touched on? Let's go deeper into that pocket, under the almonds to the almond dust.
Oh, the almond shavings. The almond skins.
Are there things, I guess my question for you three, are there things that your characters wanted to do that we didn't end up, that we had to either like, that we prioritize differently?
I don't think there was necessarily for craft. I think that I really sort of touched on everything that I wanted to touch on. And I think I played craft very reactive to what the arcs were, rather than having a set plan for what I wanted to explore with her character.
Mm-hmm.
So there wasn't anything particularly that I felt like I was missing out on.
Yeah, I agree. You were really good at allowing us the freedom to do a thing if we wanted to do it. And also, I think for Connor, like, his whole character was sort of being lost and aimless. Like, that was kind of the point of it. So, kind of just going along with the flow was the thing he did. So,
I think it would have been cool at some point to visit New York City. I think it would have been neat to do like an in-universe one-shot like we did with Join the Paper, which remains one of my my favorite memories and things that we did in Join the Party. But that was more like a nice to have and not a thing that I feel was, lost.
No, that would have been cool. The stuff with the other schools is something I wanted to do with more. I wanted to do a little bit more stuff with Vesper, maybe with the Administrator, or going back to some of the teachers who we met, like with just exploring more stuff with Dr. Ram and also with Mr. Box and Mr. Sizzle. I did like them a lot, but I feel like I did get the chance to kind of like touch on them and let them factor into the end of the story.
Mr. Box is dead, unfortunately, Eric. So
Brandon, literally a sentient refrigerator. So no, unfortunately, no. I am really stoked with how what happened with Team Cast. I am happy with that. How like just like kind of a goofy character who was there the entire time, then ended up like changing Connor's situation at the end very strongly. And I think it also like, even though it's, I saw maybe some stuff that it's like maybe Connor got like all of his problems got wiped away at the end. I'm like, no, like his aunt sacrificed for him, and I think that was really important, even if like him as a high schooler does not understand that at the end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which is not something that like Brandon did. It was just like something I was thinking about. Like, I waited like as long as possible to see what Connor would do, and like Connor didn't do anything. So this is what happens: is like adults step in to help children, or they don't step in to help children, and then the situation resolves the way that it resolves. So it's like, I mean, Connor's aunt. I mean, this is also because like I guess this all comes back to Emilio, right? Like if Emilio the sword becomes a person after a sword, then Emily Slaughter doesn't change her whole shit. Then Anita might not feel like she has a lot going on, and she's like, well, I'm willing to sacrifice for my child in a way now that we've like reestablished our relationship. I guess I'll go work for the government so Connor can kind of do whatever he wants. And he was allowed to become Wordsmith 2 or Wordsmith 7 or whatever I said,
whatever number it was.
Yeah,
My headcanon is also that Anita went into the government, like said yes to this, but then like blew it up from the inside because $13 trillion for a stupid murder robot is ridiculous. So maybe she fixed it somehow, maybe she like blackmailed the president or something, something cool.
Something cool, like blackmailing the president.
Yeah.
I agree.
We know what Brandon thinks a good time is.
I got a few ideas about a good time right now.
And the second half of Stephanie's question is, how have you changed since the beginning of the pod?
How have we not changed?
How have we not changed in 10 years? Is anything the same? My voice is deeper. My voice got deeper over the course of the podcast. That's wild.
Yeah.
Not a thing I realized happens after you were a teenager.
Mm-hmm. A lot of stuff.
Yeah, like this is such a hard question to ask. Hey, what's changed in the past decade of your life? Everything has changed in the past decade of our lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's very interesting to think that like Join the Party is at the center of like a chapter in my life, which in my head is kind of like, for me, is like 23 to like 33 or 34. And now I'm kind of at the end of, as Join the Party is ending, I'm like going into a new chapter of my life as well. So it's like, I changed in that, like, that was the Join the Party represented like a big who I was during that time. And now literally a new thing is happening in so many ways.
Don't worry, guys. We're in safe hands because the question surgeon has clocked in. So, phew, we're covered.
Good. My gallbladder's been bothering me.
I have some questions, Michelle, about my B12 supplement. So, question surgeon Michelle Spurgeon would like to know, is Tegan still with Average Bear? How would they report on all of the hero news that unfolded during Campaign 4?
Didn't Tegan canonically get fired from Average Bear?
Tegan got laid off, but I like to think, I think, Eric, you might have said this specifically, that they started like a very successful non-turf racist Substack, like on a different platform, but like a Substack.
Yeah, I think she started a newsletter. I didn't realize that like that is what every single person would do. So like that feels so like almost thinking about that in 2026. I'm like, oh, geez. I hope
very prescient.
Yeah, I hope Tegan has like a full-time job. That would be nice. I'd like that.
They definitely have health insurance. Yeah. Don't worry.
Maybe Tegan started a company called like Above Average Bear, and it's like a better version,
It's called Hibernate.
Ooh.
There you go. That's good.
Because it's important to like think about stuff. Or like, bears don't hibernate. Don't they do something else?
They stupor.
Yeah, they stupor. Maybe it's called stupor.
Wow.
I like that.
Pretty rad. I like to see that on my credit card statement, Michelle also asks, do you think Val and Hitomi are still together circa Campaign 4?
Yeah, Val and Hitomi in my mind are the Peter Parker, Mary Jane of Campaign 2. So,
God, Hitomi was always so cool.
Yep.
Like she just showed up and had the coolest shoes, and then like snuck behind a bar and grabbed beers for Val. Like that shit's over. Like that is just like, oh, I remember when I met my wife. That's how you do it.
That's how you know it's meant to be.
Yeah,
absolutely incredible. And Michelle also asks, what happened to DMM that the Ooze was able to use her actual house to try and trap Rowan?
Dr.
Morrow.
Dr. Mayor Morrow.
Dr. Mayor
Morrow.
Use her multiple titles, including my friend, Sister Dr. Catherine Lucia Phoebe Addington, because you put the doctor after the sister, which is insane.
Well, because God comes first, Amanda.
Apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I think we established that Dr. Mayor Morrow's brain was chilling in LTC Tower. So I think that she's still kind of recovering from that. It was not in her house. That's also why Des wasn't there. That's also why January wasn't there. Like, the house is currently like chilling, and the ooze probably like overwhelmed some security features and then kind of got in there because the ooze is very powerful and very scary.
Yeah.
My headcanon was they were like in Aruba or something. You know?
Yep. On vacation.
Yeah.
Took her brain out for vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And folks, it's becoming spring. We are thawing out here in the northern hemisphere, and something is kind of poking up from all of the mulch and the leaves that have accumulated over the fall and the winter. It's a shoot of ginger, because I'm calling this the rhizome corner, because we have some great questions from Ginger, who deserves their own moniker.
I love it.
Ginger also created some incredible fan art of of characters from Campaign 4 from Taskmaster, which is absolutely insane.
Stunning. So we are now, thank you so much, Brandon, that's exactly how I meant it, in the Rhizome Corner with Ginger. Eric, with so much to be touched on for the finale, how did you decide what should be prioritized, such as the full scene for the ooze versus the waving away of the consequences with the U.S. government? Was it like an intuition based on what you think the players wanted to focus on, or were there certain things that you made sure to flesh out beforehand?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely came down to what the characters did. Like, I really responded, especially with the Diablo plan. That was really important to see how that shook out. And then letting those last 2 episodes kind of sing on their own. But Brandon, go ahead.
Yes, I was going to say that I don't think I told you, Eric, that not that it matters, but I took out a few of times of Eric being like, what do you guys want to do next? What do you guys want to do next? Because I wanted the narrative to flow a little bit better that way. So like what Ginger might be touching on is that like seemed like you had a narrative plan for exactly how the last couple episodes would go, but like the reality was that Eric was like asking us what we wanted to do and allowing us to. So anytime like one of us started a scene, like Julia starting a scene, it was because Eric had asked us like what we want to do next.
For sure. So for that point, it's like the thing with the ooze was like, I definitely did not want Fatberg and the ooze to just kind of be wiped away by the Christian devil. Like, Fatberg and the ooze were still there. That's why they were getting hosed by the Christian devil, but I definitely wanted them to be around as the last thing that happened there. Yes, right. There was this question. Like, I don't think that there were no consequences to the U.S. government. The U.S. government just plays the incredibly long game. You tell someone $1 trillion is not a real amount of money. That's a thing that a government says.
$13 trillion.
$13 trillion dollars. And but like that's over the entire time of the Teamcast project, right? You know what I mean? So, and just saying, like, pointing at a person, be like, this is you, so you have to do what we say, I think was what I was trying to wield there. So really focusing on all that stuff. Again, the Wraith example is a great one. It was written down in my arc notes that Wraith, you could bring Wraith there and that would de-escalate the situation. No one did. So dealing with Wraith was really important for something at the end. Dealing with Rick Powers getting, you know, wrecked by Voidy Lynn. Going to the cube was really important to me. I really wanted to go to the cube, but at the end, and being able to tie that in with like how no matter what Kraft did, she was still seen as villain coded was also really important. So like touching on the themes and resolving the ongoing themes of the story were the things that I wanted to focus on.
Beautiful. The Teamcast Connor took out was not the first Teamcast that was destroyed. How many other people got saddled with $2.5 trillion debts because they happened to have a broken one?
13 trillion. See, this is the thing about a nice little narrative, right? Because like in the narrative, I'm like, yes, Anna, let's play along. In real life, I'd be like, take me to fucking court, assholes. Yep. Bring it on.
I mean, that's the point, right? It's just, you just say that so you can make someone, you just, like, imagine getting like a letter from the IRS saying you owe $13 trillion. Like, that's crazy.
But see, this is the difference because taxes are a law that I must do.
I mean, 100% true.
There's no law that says if you break our robot.
The government just like pointed at Connor and said, deal with it. And that's what happened.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. It's like, this is the difference, right? Like if the government had been like, you owe back taxes of $13 trillion and like didn't explain why, but like we knew it was that, then I'd be like more apt to be like, oh shit, I gotta solve this. But like they were just like, you destroyed it's like me I don't know, kicking a sidewalk too hard and a pebble coming out and they're like, you owe us $30 for that. Like, fuck right off.
It's 100% true. That's very true. This is like when someone in high school learns about like the prison industrial complex, and it's like, why is it like this? Why do we have private prisons? And you're like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just the way that it is. Like, you're right. And Connor definitely, it was very important to me that like Connor was right and did not necessarily need to bend to what the U.S. government wanted him to do, but like, Anita is an adult and is more afraid of the reality of what happened than that happened, which is why she stepped in.
Yeah.
Nice.
And, you know, maybe may or may not have doomed her career or would have broken things from the inside. Like, we don't know, but she definitely like decided to change her life on behalf of Connor, regardless of if Connor was correct or not about the U.S. government posturing.
Yeah, blackmailing the president. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ginger asks, what genres of music do you think the teens are into? Music and culture is such a vital part of the teen experience, and I'm really curious to know more about the teen part of our teen heroes. Eric, same question goes for NPCs. I'm especially curious about Rick and Wraith, but also Hedgehogio because he confuses me greatly.
Hedgehogio loves film. He loves cinema. He listens to the Social Network soundtrack all of the time when he's doing work.
It's just all Hans Zimmer.
Yeah,
It's just exclusively listening to Hans Zimmer.
He doesn't like the movie Interstellar, but he likes the music.
That's fair. I think Kraft listens mostly to psychedelic rock, and her favorite band is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards.
Hell yes, absolutely. She
that
loves
is a real
jam
band.
bands.
Everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy.
Modern jam bands, 100%. Yeah. King Gizzard also like does a lot of different genres. So like it's very funny that Kraft, you know, this is also when you listen to Steely Dan and like you listen to 5 different songs and they're all different genres.
Yeah.
I think Kraft loves that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, a lot of surf rock, garage rock, psychedelic rock.
Yeah. Especially because King Gizzard is still like touring too.
Yeah.
So Kraft going is 100% like on point. Like, oh yeah, I got to go into LTC because King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard is playing at the arena.
Yeah, Kraft follows them around like fish.
Do fish people call themselves like the school?
They
Like
should.
the school of fish? You know?
I don't know.
That's a
They
good
should.
question.
They
It's a
should.
good question.
I am certain that Rowan is a huge fan of the daughter of Utica, Deborah Freedman, Debbie Freeman, who updated Jewish music for the 20th and 21st centuries. Absolutely.
Great.
And Connor listens to, I'm going to say anything that's on a Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack.
Hell yeah.
He's into. So mostly ska,
Yeah.
probably, but anything like that, you know, maybe some Badfinger, Goldfinger, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah. That's so funny because I distinctly remember one of the things I did was make January made playlists for all of the characters of Campaign 2. And January made Milo a ska playlist, and Milo was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yes. That's not a Milo genre.
So Connor liking ska is very funny to me.
Yeah.
I think Rick listens to rap artists that are very confusing. Like you don't really understand what they're saying or anything in a way that so many people, I think my age and older, like, oh yeah, we love like 90s, you know, the golden age of hip hop and also like the emergence of, you know, Kanye West and with Jay-Z and like that particular group of artists. And then Rick Powers is just like, oh yeah, this is 5 minutes of incomprehensible music, which I guess we're calling rap. And it's just like, that's incredible. That's insane. In my head, he's in the weight room when he's doing it.
Probably. How about Wraith?
Oh, Wraith loves the girlies, right? Wraith has strong opinions about about the pop girlies. Wraith has a quarterly pop girly who she assigns the girly of the quarter. I think it switches, and you can kind of go from, you know, Olivia Rodrigo to Charlie to Chappell Roan to Sabrina Carpenter.
Does Taylor Swift count as a girly?
She's kind of outside now that she's so big. I feel like she's outside of the girly pantheon, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wraith, however, does not like Gracie Abrams because she's like, that's just Nepo baby. And Wraith has strong opinions about Nepo babies.
Julia, I've never agreed with you more than these music takes.
Gracie Abrams isn't quite pop exactly, though, so I think she's out of it.
She's like knockoff Taylor Swift. What are you talking about?
No, but like there's a
Singer,
certain
songwriter.
kind of pop of like Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina and Charlie and like, you know, it's like yeah.
No, I agree. What Julia said is 100% correct of like her being so manufactured. It's like the engineer is doing all of the work.
You could tell she's manufactured because she has her father's lens flares all over her.
That's how you know.
Stupid.
Gracie Abrams, also the Scion class.
Damn.
I've heard J.J. Abrams is a great person or like a nice guy, but fuck everything he makes. I hate it all.
Oh, I was gonna say, Brandon, one of your better jokes, but one of your worst takes, in my opinion. We'll
You
get
like
there.
J.J. Abrams
The
movies?
2009 Star Trek movie
Amanda
was
loves
formative
Star
to my
Trek.
We talked
fandom
about this.
identity.
Amanda loves this. Amanda loves.
Have you
Star
watched
Trek.
any of the original Star Trek, Amanda? It's so much better.
No.
Have you rewatched the movie lately, or is this like all fanfic?
It's all nostalgia.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm.
I implore you to watch Next Generation. You will like it immensely.
I am certain I will.
What's the one with Janeway, Brandon?
Voyager.
I love Janeway.
Also
She's
good, but
best.
not quite as good as Next Gen.
Mm.
But I do like her. She's a great character.
I'm really excited about the next question. Amanda, can you ask it?
This question's great. I didn't even know. I did not. Sorry, ask the question. I've things to say about this.
You're so excited. You're getting to the answer already. Again, from Ginger, Rhizome Corner. If Wraith and Kraft are at least kissing buddies and they are going to college together, I have to ask, are they risking the potential messiness of rooming together?
That's a fucking bad idea.
I think they do it for the first semester, and then Wraith is like, yeah, I can't do this right now. I need some space, and then gets her own room.
And it makes them closer and stronger because, articulating your boundaries and loving your friends enough to honor them is very important.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's what happens in college is people have nice and
honor
and
boundaries.
thought
Great
through
communicator.
breakups.
It's boarding supers high school.
Yeah.
Like you're a little bit advanced on the living with people.
Mhm.
I did not know Wraith and Kraft were going to hook up at the end of the campaign. I had no
Hey,
idea.
listen, I didn't either. And then we got to a pause in the conversation, and I said, it'd be funny. And then I said, and Kraft kisses her. So
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
awesome. I love that.
They're both eating the same slice of pizza from opposite ends.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did fights ever break out over members switching teams at Water's Edge? I was thinking how
Definitely.
hard Glimmer was advocating for the Freak Squad at the beginning of the season, only to leave the next semester. Were Frug and the other freaks betrayed?
Fraug.
Yeah,
Frog.
100%. We didn't really get a chance because Glimmer kind of slotted into the team cast thing, and also Kraft and Rowan accepted Glimmer so fast that like the conflict was about Connor feeling bad and no longer actually about Glimmer. So like that whole thing just changed. But yeah, there was a lot. That was going to be a whole thing with the Freak Squad.
And that's what we call the matriarchy, folks.
Yeah.
If the women say yes, that's what goes down.
Brandon, why did you cut all of Connor going down a red pill character arc?
Eric, this is fantasy. Fantasy.
Fantasy.
Escape from the world. Can the personification of the super's powers ever hang out? I know Voidy Lynn and the Libro de Liberico didn't get along when they were both vying for Rowan as their champion, but now that they're both happy and have their people, is there a world where Rowan and Connor take them for playdates?
The idea of Voidy Lynn going on a play date seems
It's hilarious.
fucked up to me.
Yeah, it seems very terrifying. I would like to believe that the more kind of integrated and in control and owning her whole self Rowan gets as she grows up, the less Voidy Lynn shows up. And it might be like a voice she can channel in the back of her mind, or like a voice that's helpful and kind of, thinking through things, but less like poking through without her consent and more just, a part of her and a memory and a tool, a facet of Rowan's own personality. So I think Rowan might treat that by being like, we can just hang out, kind of. You don't have to. Doesn't be a play date. We just hang out.
You have to make it weird, Connor.
It's like a Chow Garden from the Sonic Adventure games.
Mm.
God, Chow Garden. Jesus Christ.
I don't
I'm
even
not-
know what that means.
I'm out
It
here.
just unlocked something in my brain.
Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's not worth elaborating on.
Inspired by the last episode, what is Dr. Marimoro's favorite vacation spot?
Removing your brain.
Doesn't matter where you go after that.
Yeah, putting your brain in a jar.
God, the dream.
Sounds so good. I was reading this, I think it was a Blue Sky thread of people with like the woo-woo sort of hippie stuff that they do that they really love. And one person is like, yeah, when I can't fall asleep or I feel like my brain is too busy, I will imagine using like a vegetable scrub brush to like scrub at the folds of my brain
I love
and
that for
clean them. And
Yeah.
that is an image that has worked for me. And so I invite that to you, and that's what I imagine is like putting my brain through a little car wash and getting out all the anxieties and the bad stuff, and then getting it back all squeaky and new.
Nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
How does jurisdiction over death/the afterlife work in the universe of campaigns 2 and 4? Are there districts that Anubis, the Christian devil, and any other interested parties can claim and trade, or is it something else?
Someone forgot St. Peter, and that's fucked up.
Is Milo now so in and of the universe that he is another jurisdiction over death and life.
Yeah, but only death that happens in space.
Or people with fat asses.
If you have a fat ass and you die, you get to go to Milo's afterlife.
Yeah.
That's the best afterlife.
It's a fucking party.
The whole thing with the Christian devil was that I always pushed so hard against the fact that there were both devils and demons in the 9 hells in Dungeons and Dragons, and it was so nonsense. So I just kind of liked just like throwing Christian devil in there. It doesn't really make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. I think that there must be some different jurisdictions. I like the idea that like Christians need to deal with the Christian devil, even though Anubis is like so chill and like has shag carpeting. Maybe it's something like that.
Like
nice. Is there a superhero court for super crimes?
No, I think just there's things that are against the law, and if you break the law, you go to regular court.
it.
I imagine that one of the like infrastructural upgrades and evolutions between campaigns 2 and 4 is the law getting used to legislating and dealing with like the civil and criminal consequences of superhero acts.
She said civil. She said it. Civil War arc.
I was like, is there bingo of words we'll say during this after party?
Yeah, Brandon's playing bingo without telling us.
He tried to get Connor to sign up for a newsletter, and he thinks it's an infringement of his inalienable rights, and then it becomes Civil War.
True. Incredible.
There's no unsubscribe link at the bottom of this newsletter.
What schemes were the Exceptional Humans School up to that were too busy to compete with Water's Edge and their rivals? Please feel free to make up any notable people involved in said schemes. That's right. This was a great addition to the world building that we did not touch on.
This is the military school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was a military school. I mean, they're all congressmen now.
Oh no! Yoinks.
Who is the guy who owned not the Waffle House, but essentially the Waffle House?
God, that piece of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
The like congressperson that came to Water's Edge.
Oh, the Councilman
The
Mays.
councilman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they all are working as interns in his office for the entirety of the campaign.
Yeah, that was another guy I didn't really get to do, but I think that's true, Julia.
Yeah, the school is like an educational nonprofit to fund their like child labor exploitations.
Oh.
Yeah, boy. Is the acidic gelatinous ooze from the Camp-Paign cousins with the ooze we've come to know and hate from season 4?
Mm-hmm.
All ooze is related?
Chad, no. But the
Well,
other
because
oozes.
Chad's a
Yes.
human.
Yeah, Chad's a
He
human.
wasn't including Chad.
It's weird
Right,
you would
right.
I wasn't even
think
there
of
for
Chad
that.
when we say oozes. Whatever. Rick being someone not in tune with how their powers work was a very interesting part of the season for me. Were there any potential plans to do with him, specifically being the number 1 student and his ego around his rank, or was he always just a kind of representation of how the system in Water's Edge affects students?
This was always Rick's number 1 thing that he cared the most about. And he was also his like motivation all the time. I think we saw this a little bit during the flood at the school, that Rick was like, what are you doing? I'm taking care of all this stuff, Rowan, get your shit together. And also dealing with Miriam, this is what he cared about a lot. So I feel like it wasn't like an overtone necessarily of his themes, and we kind of saw this at the end, but it was always his like character motivation of having a big ego and wanting to be number 1 all the time. And he needed to be like not only in the cube, but totally disfigured to let go of that.
Ginger asks, does the fact that Rowan killed 2 people, even if one did eventually come back, weigh on her? Absolutely. It's not okay to take a life. And that's something that I think she, talks to her rabbi about and thinks about and tries to make peace with and repair in some way. But I am really curious about kind of her growth. And I imagine that a big part of her continued adolescence and young adulthood is around like what our responsibilities are to each other and kind of where to draw those lines. I think in another world where she's not powered, Rowan would be a really interesting philosopher.
In a world where she doesn't have powers, did she also kill 2 people? Or
No.
Probably not.
Hopefully not.
I would guess no.
Hypothetically, in the current day, if Rick and Connor were to battle it out, no holdsies backsies, who would win?
Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Connor was able to put Rick to any sort of standstill during the mad scientist thing was significant.
Yeah.
Word. Follow-up, is there a limit to what Rick Powers can adapt to? It feels like only post-hospitalization did he even have an active relationship with how his powers work. So has he found any major hurdles to overcome?
Taxes. Powers don't help with that.
Powers, they don't help with the taxes. That's true.
This feels like if Rick had like his own comic line or like at least an arc on his own, then I'd be able to kind of wrestle with that. But I feel like he's, we have to return to him in this kind of changed form. Then now I think he adapts less. Now it's like now the powers are on the surface, which is what I was kind of demonstrate with like that kind of like arachnid body and the legs thing he has going on. It's like less about being now it's on the surface and it's less about adapting, but now everything's happening all at once.
Mm-hmm. How much are the powers that powerful supers have their own identity? Voidylin and Richard seem to be more extensions of their individuals, but Libro de Liberico moves from person to person. Can they ever exist outside of their supers and develop personhood on their own? Now, I am the least comics fan of any of us here, but that feels like a spin-off issue series, like, complete comic book thing of its own. Very like what happens when the powers try to gain sentience.
Yeah, it's very, Phoenix Force coded.
Yeah. Or gain the ability to act upon their sentience.
I like it.
That's cool.
And my final question from this Rhizome Corner. If a mad scientist got goop from both Connor and the ooze in a humane way, how would the two substances interact?
Wow.
Connor
this is a not
goop.
safe for work question we could not answer, Julia.
I'm just saying Connor is not goop. He's just see-through.
Yes.
Yeah, right. That's actually a good point. Yeah. The art, obviously, that we've commissioned and other people have made a fan art is goopy, but because it's fun to think of him that way. But no, he's just a kid with transparent bits.
True.
But I mean, we're all kind of goop on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So
we are all very elaborate Jell-O salads.
Yeah, exactly.
Solids suspended in liquids and plasmas.
True.
Now, did you mean to say salad or solids?
I meant to say salad. Like, how people Midwesterners make like a Jell-O salad, but it's like
yes,
has ham in it or whatever. That's us.
Yes, an aspic.
I don't want to think about that.
Brandon, don't bring up aspic.
Well, Eric, you're going to be pretty disappointed at the transparent deviled eggs I made as an appetizer, but I'm going to pop right into the kitchen and I'll be right back.
Oh.
Gross.
Hey everybody, it's Amanda. This final mid-roll is brought to you by knowing that your comfort shows will always be there for you. They are a warm hug to remind you that you're loved and other people out there love the things you love. Let me remind you of all the ways that you can stay connected to join the party. You can join our beautiful Discord community now for free. The link to join is in the description of this episode and will take you to a page where you can sign up with whatever username you want, accept our code of conduct, and meet a bunch of new friends in the Join the Party Discord. Patrons, if you are currently an active paying patron of Join the Party, you will keep access to our entire archive indefinitely. If you are not a member and you want to join, you can do so at patreon.com/jointhepartypod until the end of this week. That's February 28th, 2026. Basically, you join, you get access to everything we've ever posted, you can download whatever you want, and that access will remain there. I say indefinitely, essentially forever, at least a couple of years. Don't worry about it. If you prefer to grab an ad-free archive of your favorite campaign, or you want to grab just the party planning recordings, or you want to watch some of our old live shows, you can do all of that anytime for a one-time charge and download them to keep them forever. So if 4 months from now you are listening to this and going, oh my God, it's after February 28th, 2026, that's okay. Go to patreon.com/jointhepartypod and you can grab just a one-time purchase for our entire ad-free archive, all of our party plannings, all of our live shows, a number of options. Go on over patreon.com/jointhepartypod. We are also putting all merch on sale as cheaply as our partners will allow us to sell it. You can go to jointhepartypod.com/merch to get our exclusive vinyl episode, stickers, mugs, PDFs of all the games we've ever published, and more. Or if you want to get our gorgeous Campaign 3 Plant Pirate dice, go to dispeldice.com, search for Join the Party, and use the special code JTP15 at checkout to get $15 off these dice. We're not going to be remanufacturing any of these merch items, so if there's something you want, get it now. Remember that Multitude, our podcast collective, is full of joyful shows that will teach you something while making you feel something. You can find your new favorite show now and forevermore in the future at multitudeshows.com or at Multitude Shows on social. And finally, remember that this podcast feed will remain here forever, and we will also post right here in the podcast feed if any of us launches a new podcast. So don't unsubscribe just yet. We will let you know if there are any developments that you need to know about to come follow our work elsewhere. We love you. We did it. Back to the after party. I got self-conscious about my aspic hard-boiled jellied deviled eggs, and so instead I just brought more Julia's Dorito casserole. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. What's in a
heats up
Dorito
well.
casserole? So like a hot dish, but with Doritos on top?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think Garfield would think of Doritos?
I think it might be his death.
I think it would be too spicy for a cat. Lasagna acceptable,
Fair.
but the spice level, that'll fuck you up.
What if the tomato sauce on lasagna is kind of spicy though?
Can cats eat dairy like that?
No.
Okay,
I
moving
don't
on.
know.
I'm getting lost in the sauce. All right, time to talk about Campaign 3, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get some questions in about Vertistello, people. Miss Callie wants to know if any of your human characters from other campaigns were plant/bug people in Vertistello, what would they be? I've been
Ooh, good
thinking about
question.
this long and hard.
Okay.
I think that multi-tool would be a sweet pea vine because that shit can grab onto fucking anything.
That's true.
A pea can grow like 6 inches over the course of a day, and it can be within a whisper of a fence. And then suddenly you look over and it's like entwined itself in your car. Like that shit has grown into my gutters. It has attempted to grow around a broom that was just leaning against a trellis. Insane.
I'm like, between Val, I'm like, roly-poly bug makes sense because, as we liked to joke, Val was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Right.
But I also think like a coconut because of like the hard exterior would be kind of funny for Val.
Val also godless, so that would make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm bad at this. I'm bad at picking plants and bugs for folks. I don't know. What do you guys think for like Connor or Milo or something?
For Connor, I think there's like those specific types of succulents that are kind of see-through. So I think that would be kind of cool for Connor, right, Amanda? There's like kind of succulents that are like glass looking almost.
Mm-hmm.
That's
there
cool.
are. They're very cool.
And then for Milo,
What's the plant has the biggest ass?
That's like all we remember about Milo.
A pitcher plant? That's kind of an ass.
I was going to say like Milo as like a firefly, I think would be kind of cool.
Oh, that's fun.
Because he did kind of have that like sparkly space vibe aesthetically.
that so offended Julia's across the world.
Maybe what if Milo was like a like an umeboshi, like a pickled plum,
I like that too.
because he has dead
Because
dead
he
powers.
is purple coated as well.
yeah, he's
so,
like purple and also like pickled feels ghostly to me.
Yeah. True.
I like that.
Or like one of those asparaguses that turn white because you don't expose it to the light.
Yes.
Mm.
I think I just want to talk about Campaign 3 a little bit larger. I
Please.
remember being very nervous about going back to Dungeons and Dragons. I think this was also around like when we were really feeling the hegemony of D&D, and Hasbro was doubling down on like the contentness of it. I think this was also around the thing with the open gaming license as well. And like it was important to me that I wanted to create a lot of different mechanics to make it's like, how do you demonstrate that you can let a game be whatever you want at your table? And then adding the layer of like, I wanted to have more control over the world again, but also do something that I knew the three of you would like. So doing something with plants and bugs while also being pirates. I think I was really trying to figure out that middle ground. And I'm still very happy with like, the flags I made with the different countries and Vertistello at large. And also like the very like ethereal thing about the falls. I'm really happy with how that world came together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And what a theme song, baby. In fact, Brandon, we have a question a little bit later about your thoughts on the theme songs you have composed for the various arcs as we've gone through it. Do you want to remind us of the absolute banger that is the Campaign 3 theme song?
I would indeed.
I'll sing you a song that all green folk know.
Until the water falls home.
I'm so proud of my important contribution of a very slight
That
fuck,
was
so good.
That was good.
Eric, Brandon, that was a huge collaboration for the both of you. How does it feel listening back?
I don't think I've listened to it all the way through in a very, very long time. And I'm like, oh, that was good. It was good stuff.
It's a banger.
I'm always going to be self-critical about myself, so nothing I say here should be taken to anyone else. But it's a little bit too much. It was a big swing that I don't think fully hit. Not that it was performances or anything, but like, I don't know. It was a swing that we took. I'm glad we took it, but I probably wouldn't do anything like it again.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, here's changes I would make. You were just like, meh, I don't know if I fucking crushed that one or not.
Yeah, more the latter. I don't know that I would do lyrics again. I'm glad that we tried it. But yeah, I don't know that I would do lyrics again. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but I think I could have done a more interesting or more thematically appropriate piece of music that was like even more piratey if I wasn't thinking about melody and lyrics and stuff. Well, I guess lyrics, but I don't know.
I would say, Brandon, before you throw your own work down the toilet, that I think the sort of work song sea shanty, it was perfect for that campaign. And so I think you did a great job with it. And Eric obviously did a fantastic job with the lyrics.
Yes.
And having multiple voices contribute to that was incredibly cool. Brandon's partner, Eric's brother, Julia, like it was just so cool to have like loved ones and friends of the show have their voices in it too.
Yeah, really cool.
Not a question, but Miss Callie did at some point have to be reminded and like ask the Discord, quote, who's the carrot with big shorts and a bikini top that everyone hated? And I just want to put that out there as a sentence that could only have been uttered in the Join the Party Discord, and another plug to join it because it's beautiful.
I gotta say, I kind of did forget that Lucky Edie was a collection of carrots.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what
really?
I pictured in my mind whenever I was picturing Lucky Edie, but it wasn't carrots.
Yeah, she was a bundle of rainbow carrots, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Important question. Did the big shorts have leg holes for each bottom of each carrot? Or was it like the carrots fit into 2 leg holes?
Bundled into 2 legs. I don't know why this is such a strong canon in my head, but that is absolutely the answer.
Man, coming up with like the different body types of all the different characters for Campaign 3 was so much fun. I really enjoyed that. I still remember the worst thing that ever happened to Cammy when I surprised Julia and made her do the lottery. That the Cresco there was a square of...
Just a square of sod.
He was a square of sod. God, I love that.
It's so funny that Cammy's going through the most traumatic moment of her life, and the guy who's kind of creating the incident is just a square of sod. It's so fucked up.
So funny, but like, just I imagine that like the shadow that he cast on like little Cammy was so big, and so made it so scary.
Yeah, like someone blocking out the sun.
Yeah.
God, it's so funny.
The question surgeon, Michelle Spurgeon, wants to know, is there a track on the home island that you wish you'd been able to focus on Vertistello? Brandon?
Big Crab. No, I'm cutting Brandon off. Big Crab.
I'm sorry we didn't get to Big Crab.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry we didn't get to Big Crab.
No, for me, no, it was dig or roll.
Yeah,
I want to dig or roll all
Brandon.
day long, baby.
We did so many of those. We did so many of them.
Not enough.
No.
I'm also really happy with the skill tree and that making it feel like it was more of a JRPG. That was really good stuff. Good job, Eric.
For sure.
And from the surgeon herself, were any plant people born by growing on a bush or tree? Did they have to be picked, or did they fall after they were quote unquote ripe? I think of that face that we saw, and it haunts me every day.
Oh yeah. God, the whole thing where like how some of the plants had faces, but were not plant and bug people. I love that. Like just making it a little bit scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Spooky.
it's fucked.
I do think of that when selecting like ginger or potato too. I'm just like, no one that looks like a face. I don't need that.
No, thank you.
No, I think it was just like the animal. I think we saw this with like some animal stuff. I think this was also around BoJack Horseman, where like there was a lot of like there were animals, but also animal people, and just like you had to sit in that awkwardness. You had to just sit in the weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
Like Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like Mr. Mime and the fact that he exists.
Like how Goofy has a dog.
Oh, no, I meant like there are fish in Pokemon, but then there are also Magikarp.
Mm. True.
Just a PSA for the members of Join the Party Nation as you become dual citizens of the world once more. Not everyone knows that Mr. Mime canonically fucks Ash's mom. And I know that because I brought it up confidently the other day, like, oh, Mr. Mime, yeah, fucking Ash's mom. And the person was like, I'm sorry, what?
That's not canonical.
It is not canonical. It's a popular fan theory.
Canonical in here.
All right.
Well, no,
enough.
isn't there an episode where she's on the beach with Mr. Mime?
Yes.
There's evidence.
Yes, there's evidence,
but it's
circumstantial.
not canonical.
Yeah, of course they don't show a hardcore sex scene between Mr. Mime and Ash's mom.
I don't want to see a hardcore sex scene, Brandon. It's not a heated rivalry.
We have to move on.
Okay.
It's not a heated rivalry.
Let's hard launch back to Campaign 2 with another banger of a theme song, courtesy Brandon Grugle.
Hell yeah, dog.
That fade out is so good.
Yeah.
Brandon, you're going to be mean to yourself about your music again?
No, this is my favorite.
Fair enough.
Really?
Yeah,
Over the
still my favorite.
Camp-Paign too. I love the Camp-Paign one.
Yeah. Are we going to be able to listen to the Campaign one?
We didn't have any specific questions about the Camp-Paign, but you're welcome to air it so that we can enjoy the beauty.
Well,
yeah.
let's just go ahead and listen to this one right now then.
I love the
Oh,
crow.
the bird.
I was waiting for Amanda's crow.
Oh, so good.
Bro.
Yeah, that I like that one too. It's not my I don't really like stomp and clap music in general. So like it was much more of like a genre fun play thing, but I like the way that one ends on an unresolved chord. I think that's really fun.
Like adolescence. It's a metaphor.
But yeah, it's fun. It's not my thing. Like it's not my genre. But yeah, I think the Campaign 2 one is definitely my favorite. It was the first time I had felt able to do whatever the fuck I wanted. And the first challenge of adding the melody into a bass that I was sort of I often would just make the bass music the thing I liked and then try to figure out how to add the JTP melody into it.
Yeah.
As opposed to the other way around. And yeah, I think that one is the most dynamic and textured and layered and probably
lovely.
The second best mix maybe. I suppose maybe the most recent one is the best mix, but yeah.
Hell yeah. Love that.
So here is a prompt for reflection that also brings up an iconic moment of Campaign 2 from Melanie, asking players, what is your favorite memory from the past 9/10 years? A character, a joke, a moment, a storyline. And mine is when I submitted a comment to an Afterparty asking if the code to the keypad in Campaign 2 was 80085, aka boobs.
Boobs.
And the joke just kept
Boobs.
coming back for the remainder of the show.
The thing is, my favorite joke, I don't remember saying it, which is you mean St. Peter, right? And
That's because you blacked out in anger.
No, it's not even
Imperfection.
that. It's sometimes words would come out of my mouth when I was playing Val that I don't remember saying.
You communed so hard.
Yeah. And so that one was probably one of my favorites. A lot of the Val shit that would just come out of my mouth. I was like, what the fuck were you thinking when you said that? Insane. But I also, in terms of favorite moment, I think it was getting lotteried as Tammy.
Yeah.
And then also, I really loved the moment of the reveal of the time loop arc.
Yes.
For Campaign 2.
Time shark!
It's a
Time
shark swimming in
shark.
time.
For me, the one that always sticks out in my brain, not because it's particularly bombastic or anything, but the moment in Campaign 1 where we're on a boat. I don't even know what we're doing. We're on a boat traveling somewhere, and for the first time, it was the first time that Eric had asked the characters, or I think it was the first time that Eric asked the characters how do you feel about a thing and what's going through your mind, and as player of D&D, that was the first time that I had done that to me, and I was like,
Aw.
sort of like awakened a new way to play the game. And also, I loved the scene, and I also that composition that I made for it was probably one of my favorite ones from Campaign 1. So yeah, that whole moment sticks out to me the most.
That's lovely.
Hell yeah.
I was really proud of Eric and me being able to reveal to you all the switch over.
You fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Well, there were a couple of things, but specifically, I think the multi-tool reveal.
Oh, okay. That one was good.
Yeah.
Not an asshole for that one.
No, we're all still mad about Troy Riptide.
And then
Yeah.
starting a campaign with a secret, knowing that Troy was a prince and you guys didn't know, that was a good feeling, but it was like a feeling that lasted and not like a moment specifically. But yeah, figuring out like the time shark stuff and embracing, like Eric really gave me a lot of autonomy and being able to decide what that meant for Aggie. And it felt like some comic book shit, some anime shit, and a time where I felt pretty confident in making a decision for my character after, at that point, like several years of feeling like I was doing a bad job playing D&D, a bad job playing RPGs, like kind of taking up space on a show that someone else could have. And I was like, actually, I know this woman really well. So that was really fun. And also surprising Aggie with Quinn showing up was a real like Kool-Aid man smashing through. Your little sister needs help.
That's fun.
Oh man. I think that, yeah, there are a lot of the things where I put a lot of time and effort into trying to surprise the three of you was really important to me. Whether or not I actually did it at any time is definitely up for debate. Yeah, the stuff with the time loop I put a lot of effort into, and I'm really happy with how that went. Like I said, the whole world of Vertistello was very important to me to like get myself to feel good about doing a lot of world building again. So the character, the countries, feeling like I knew the countries inside and out for Vertistello was really important, especially the Crags. I think like, no, I love the Crags, and then where Umbi was from. Those two were like all of them. No, wait, all of the countries of Vertistello. I really liked. It was, let's see if I can remember. It was the field. It was open fields, Overstock, the Crags, and what was the fourth one? That was the one that we didn't really explore.
Where do little seedlings live?
It was the builder one.
In?
It was the glass house, the greenhouse,
hothouse.
The hothouse.
Oh, I was wrong.
Hothouse.
Look at me.
Yeah, I felt really good about that world building. And then of course the one shots, the one where Model Our Nations came from, and then Join the Paper. Those were really fun to do.
Man, winning that Model Our Nations felt so good.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe that, but I was like, yeah, I got exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Join the Paper was one of my favorites. I miss Todd. I want to play Todd more.
There have been moments in meetings, Brandon, where I'm like, I'm seeing a little Todd come out.
It was so funny because like trying to make that happen, and there was a point where like at the end I remember it's like, no, you guys, like I know you have spells, but like you can't just get people to do stuff. And I'm like, but then because remembering there were still office people making one of the managers, like I think like the CCO was like a character from Gossip Girl was Chuck Bass.
Yep, that's right.
Yes, it was.
The guy who like kept telling Todd he was scum. I loved that so much. And I mean, the campaign was self-indulgent for me of doing a summer camp thing. That was, and Steven, coming up with Steven, I think was really important to me.
Hell yeah.
I think it's like picking your babies, right? Or like, yeah, picking among your children. But that's probably my favorite group of characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the campaign. I think that was really fun.
I think in terms of the campaign, I put the most of childhood me into Phoebe.
Yeah.
I think of all of the characters I've created, Phoebe had the most of me.
Julia, when Sister Dr. Catherine revealed her new name and it was Phoebe, I thought of you immediately.
Yeah.
I got a little teary-eyed.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about like who had that might be my highest number of favorite NPCs might have been the campaign as well. The puzzle cleric, Steven,
Insane.
the moose, and Boo are like all top tier to me.
Boo is very
Boo is
top tier for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
God, yeah, and doing those particular voices, I think were great. Like the world, I think it's like the world building of Campaign 2 and Campaign 3 for me, but like maybe my highest number of favorite NPCs were the campaign.
Yeah.
All right, friends, bringing it back to the world of Campaign 2 in Lake Town City, the original go-around. The Giant's Mistaken Ferret wants to know, did Ant-Man and Dr. Prometheus ever work together? And Amanda's adding, or kiss?
Orcus?
God. They probably crossed over at some point. Someone ill-fated hired Dr. Prometheus as a contractor. And were like, why did you do that? That's such a stupid idea.
Weird choice, but okay.
Yeah.
Ginger, poking up from the Rhizome Corner, wants to know, can I please have last names from Milo's friends besides Zach Rose? Of course. Answer this one for me, and I'll continue writing season 2 fics forever.
Apple's last name is Appleton.
Wow.
Yeah, his first name is Steven.
Oh, right. Got it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Stephen Appleton.
Who are the other friends? Zach Rose,
and then what was his name?
And then the one you were dating.
Oh, Lucas.
Lucas.
And then Lucas.
Lucas had a last name, right?
I don't remember. Let's say it's Swarovski.
Okay.
Okay.
Like the crystals?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Okay.
You know?
He's very wealthy. He's a very
No,
much an
unrelated,
Apple baby.
Brandon. Unrelated. They're not related. It's a point of tension. I liked them not having last names. It was really because I wanted them to feel like Milo's just like coterie, and especially how like Milo's relationship with his friends was the most important thing going on with his life, which is also the whole thing about Lucas. How like Lucas was so mad at him for not telling him about the powers. That like I didn't want them to have last names, but there you go.
Now, I'm never going to tell you not to do anything in your fanfic, but it is important to me that you guys don't ship Milo and Lucas. They are best friends.
Brandon, that is the only ship that exists from Camp-Paign 2.
It is important that men are able to showcase intimate male friendships in media.
Agreed.
It is so important. And people are going to write fanfic how they're going to write fanfic. Both things exist.
It's so wonderful that in the canon you demonstrated that, and also people are 100% going to make them kiss in fanfic.
Yeah, your male friend can be pissed at you for not saying something, and he's gonna be as mad at you as anyone else, even though you guys are just bros and just do same game parlays together. 100%.
And on AO3, you may kiss and do more. Opaque Connor wants to know, now that you've played Monster of the Week and Masks in addition to D&D, does any part of you wish Camp-Paign 2 had been in a different system? To me, that campaign often felt like you were fighting against the rules to tell the story instead of being aided by them. Interestingly, Camp-Paign 3 didn't feel like that to me, even though it was also outside of D&D's core genre assumptions. I thought this was a fascinating read.
100%.
I think the latter part of that is because we got to use a lot of the stuff from Mage Hand Press, and that felt like we weren't fighting against it necessarily. I push back about the idea of feeling like I was fighting against the rules. I actually like the structure of 5e because I like seeing how I can use the rules to my advantage. There are times where we were playing like Monster of the Week or Masks where I'm like, and I just do that? Like, I don't have to
What do you mean? Yeah.
I just do it? Okay, weird.
There's something about the fighting in Monster of the Week and Masks where like everything is narrative, so you can't do it poorly or really well. And I think that's like the double crit, like double damage on crits for D20, I think is always going to be so satisfying from a tabletop RPG perspective. Like you need tastier things when you roll really well or really poorly. And so, which I think is a something that holds back 2d6 systems. The other thing is that I needed to do that in Camp-Paign 2 to figure out Camp-Paign 3. That was the biggest deal about making sure Camp-Paign 3, if we were going to do D&D, how are we going to make it sing? And Mage Hand Press was the way to make that happen. I also wrote no capes because of that in Camp-Paign 2. So like I was definitely wrestling with that, and it was very much like D&D gives you a power fantasy, and you can express it in different ways.
Yeah, it's interesting that you read it that way because I am not advocating for Hasbro or any other fuckery, but yeah, I think PD is by far my favorite system that we've played. Like, it's much more of a game, and I enjoy playing a game. Like, yeah, I think there's been a turn in TTRPGs that are narrative focused, and like now there's like everything. Like, there's really narrative focused games, and there's really game focused games, and like really fun people focused games, like friend player guns. So like we have a nice mix, but like I don't really enjoy the like make a story, just no consequences and you can do everything perfectly.
Right. Like the backlash to D&D does not mean a lyrical game is 100% better. Like it's different, and still a lot of those games are not good.
Different tools, right?
Yeah.
Campaign 2 is where I really felt the most like in flow with the rules, being able to like choose a class, having played several years of D&D instead of being like, I don't know, rogue sounds fun, was really cool. And I also think that's a campaign where Eric brought in a lot of like the other mechanics from different games, like games he wrote specifically, like you mentioned already, for that campaign, which all really helped like add to for the purpose of actual play and not just like running a long campaign, like playing out a podcast, which was rad.
Yeah.
The Giant's Mistaken Ferret also asks, I've been listening to Campaign 2, which has me thinking about all the pixelated characters that there were in that campaign. Were the Giga Bear and Gutenberg prototypes of team cast that the government was working on?
Ooh, I like that. I think there's something that's very cool about like 90s Nokia era technology. And I think just like the glitches of pixels and like the see-through housing and seeing all the wires is just really evocative imagery. So yes.
Miss Callie wants to know everybody's favorite January quote and then asks, is January the one that said, don't make it weird?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Mine was, stop it.
Yeah. Mine was, fuck.
I like January. January was very much the Alfred in the situation, but he was also like a little rabbit.
Yeah.
So that's why it was fun putting him in the mech too, to come save you in a very sort of Alfred sort of way. Like you think of him one way, but he was like MI6 for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what my favorite quote is. I just like them all.
Fair enough.
Anytime Eric had to put that voice on, it made me
Chuckle.
giggly.
Lighten the day. Folks, let's transition now to Campaign 1 with the question that kicked off this excellent idea from Opaque Connor. Less of a question, more of a request. Please play each of the 5 theme songs so we can see how Brandon has grown.
You got it, Opaque Connor.
There's so many more.
Well, because I needed it to fade at different lengths for different episodes.
Right.
That one is my second favorite. But yeah, as I said before on other Afterparties and stuff, like I didn't really do anything for it. There used to be a library by Converse, the shoe company, because they had a studio in Brooklyn.
This.
They would invite bands and artists in to come and just like jam.
Right, like Matt and Kim were there a lot, right?
I think they came once, but like not famous people, just like artists from the city.
Oh, sure.
So they would jam and they record it, and the caveat was that they could use for marketing, and 2, that they would put up all those files and stems and stuff on their website so people could remix them and fuck with them completely free. And so yeah, that was a jam from I don't know the name of the band, just some artists. Roughly, you know, like I rearranged it and made an actual song and added some things of my own, but like because it wasn't my own original composition, like it can't be my favorite. But I think it's probably the second best theme song.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's been a very long time since I've listened to all of them, but this one feels like the one that, like, oh yeah, this is the theme song of the show, because maybe it's just we played it the most number of times at live shows and everything. I'm not going to take it personally that I got more involved with the theme songs and you like them less. I'm not going to take that personally. But, you know, it was like, I don't know anything about music, and being able to collaborate with Brandon on these theme songs was always really fun. I know, I mean, like, I really liked writing the lyrics for Campaign 3, and, you know, I had a very distinct thought of what I wanted Campaign 4 to sound like, because I was watching the Games Done Quick of the live Crazy Taxi. Someone was speedrunning Crazy Taxi when there was a band playing, and I'm like, oh, that's what I want Campaign 4 to sound like. So, so it was always really fun to collaborate with Brandon.
Yeah, we didn't play the 4th one, but because everyone's heard it a million times. But I couldn't rank that one, but I do really like that one because it's obviously the latest one. I feel like it's the best composition I've made. So we'll see how I feel in 5 years. But I think that one's pretty damn good too. I like that one.
Hey, all you super friends! You want to get good together? You want to skip math together? You want to punch bad guys together? It's not that I haven't used my words. It's that nobody listens to me, and I can shoot fire. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Delightful. EP Fella would like to know, what would Tracy think of Teamcast and vice versa?
Tracy would take Teamcast and squish him into a little ball and then kick him into the moon.
Fair enough.
Mhm. Yep.
Nailed it.
Next.
No notes.
Mhm.
How about flick him like a fly, maybe? Also from EB Fella, how do we, the humble layperson, celebrate the glorious flip day? I'm so glad you asked. One of my first contributions to the Join the Party world, in my opinion.
This is when I first realized that Amanda was insane.
Yeah, I would recommend, if you can skateboard, obviously do a flip. If you have any kind of like sports skills where you can, that's great. Important you don't hurt yourself, because the longevity of the flip day is very important to flip day. I would say that you should flip a tech deck. You should flip a pencil. You should flip a cup or water bottle to land in the way that boys do in middle school, probably to this day, I hope.
Flip a bird, maybe?
Yes,
Oh.
I love that. Or you know what you can do? You can flip expectations. You can give a compliment to your rival and watch them be really confused. You can come out as trans. Great way to celebrate Flip Day. Lots and lots of
Not just for that
opportunities.
day, though. You
Not
have to,
just
you have
for
to
that
continue
day.
that.
I mean, if you choose Flip Day to be your coming out day, is what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, just flip the script, flip the expectations, flip the scenario. That is honoring Flip Day each and every day.
Make sure to wear your buttons.
Mm-hmm. Jaya wants to know, Brandon, do you have a favorite track on the Campaign 1 soundtrack, or one you're the most proud of? I truly listen to it all the time.
First of all, thank you. I really appreciate that. I think there are a lot of fun ideas on that soundtrack, and I'm proud of it. But yeah, probably one I mentioned earlier. It's like, I forget what the name of it is, but it's the piano-based one, and it's very like Philip Glassy. It's like
It's very quiet.
one idea, and then a second rhythmic idea, and a third rhythmic idea, and a fourth rhythmic idea, and a fifth one, and they sort of all interact with each other, and then sort of build, and then crescendo down, or decrescendo down. So yeah, I really like that one. It's the tonality of the piano and the mood of the song is nice to me. It's like reflective in my head, like not mirror reflective, like reflective, introspective. You know.
Sure.
And you can buy that music if you wish at the Join the Party merch store, jointhepartypod.com/merch, as well as the PDFs of the games that Eric mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Opaque Connor says, the Undying Light, Anubis, the Waterer, and Wraith meet in a bar just outside Camp Diogenes. What do they talk about?
Oh man. Oof.
Traffic? Something mundane?
I was going to say weirdest people in the afterlife. Weirdest reactions to people dying.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
It's funny how like my relationship to like the divine has changed over time. Like the Undying Light being so like amorphous, Anubis being like, maybe the Egyptians got it right. The Waterer, like again becoming amorphous, but like not caring at all. And then Wraith is just like, yeah, we are all people. Even the divine has definitely changed a lot. So I think each of them, Wraith will be like, what is going on here? Because my dad sucks.
True.
And from Eric the Vikings, I'm going to make some Chad macarons, which we were all able to enjoy at one of our live shows at the Rolling Bones Tour, to celebrate your 10 years of fun. Want some?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
I forgot about some stuff. So these two things that I think are really important to me, but like the one shots we did as part of campaign 3, where we got those guests in, that was wild. And then, yeah, I mean, the Rolling Bones tour was just insane. I still can't believe we did that.
Yeah.
Well, what a fabulous transition into some questions about our one-shots. Soup Dumpling wants to know, who was the snitch in the second one-shot Derby fiasco character creation?
We definitely did say this on the mic. It's the same person who was the snitch in the show.
No one was the
Right?
snitch.
In the episode?
No one got
I
the
don't
snitch
think-
card.
Oh,
There were 4 of us, 5 cards, and the one left was the snitch.
No one got the snitch.
Yeah.
Aha.
God, we tried so hard to play Fiasco, and it just literally never happened.
I know.
I will never know how to play that game.
The penguin smuggling was such a funny thing.
I know. We had a lot of great concepts for the fiasco. It was fun.
I really wanted to do the Arctic one. That would
It was
have
cool.
been sick.
Well, Library Chick asks, what have been your favorite one-shots from the Derby? The ones we did get to play.
I will say I did really enjoy the Bronte sisters one that we did.
So
absolute insanity.
And just vibes. Like, we just took the character creation portion of that game, and Eric like gave some structure to it, and then we just like went. It was awesome.
I wrote like an entire expansion to that game
Yeah.
so that we could play it on the mic. It was wild.
It felt incredibly natural.
I liked penguins.
Penguins was cool.
I saw a video of penguins dressed up for Lunar New Year recently, and I thought of that fiasco. One shot. Oh, Brandon, excellent. You're just giving me segues all over the place here. Soup Dumpling requests. Listening to the Great Brindlewood Bake Off, I keep asking, what are your flavors in Brandon's Ringo impression?
What are your flavors?
Your flavors.
So good.
I've also been in another Beatles kick recently because I watched the Beatles anthology show that came out or was re-released on Disney Plus. So yeah, I've just been Liverpooling all over the place recently.
Dang.
So good.
My favorite impression of the Beatles is the one from Walk Hard, where it's like, no, we're the Beatles fighting in India. I love it so much.
Soup requested the Sunchoke McGarry voice for a sentence. You better be happy with what you got in Democracy by Dice. Okay. They paid us to make a one-shot, but they didn't pay my licensing fee. And I want you to know that, like Tyra Banks, I have learned from my mistakes. And so I chose to waive my own appearance fee to show up for, the messages and whatnot.
Wow. The lessons that Sunchoke learned in this last one shot did not stick, apparently.
No, that's okay.
Progress isn't linear, babe.
It is really funny to me how Dr. Bertha Bones was just like in this thing that Julia was like, I want to run some space stuff. And then like, there's Dr. Bertha Bones.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about I was thinking just about one-shot derbies. But yeah, was that in the one-shot derby?
No,
No.
It was an in-between arcs one shot.
Yes, that one was really fun.
It was
I like that
technically a
one, too.
two-shot because we did record 2 episodes of it.
Oh, that was fun. And I mean, yeah, we're going to get into some more questions about just like general reflections on the show. But I think Dr. Bertha Bones birthing herself from me was a turning point in my life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Captured forevermore. All right, a few more one-shot questions from Katja. Has anything from TTRPG games changed how you interact with the world? Like, have you developed specific communication skills or styles or anything of the sort in-game that you use out in your actual human lives now? What a beautiful question.
I think, so this is a great question because I think it's best highlighted, and I think this surprised Eric in-game by when Kraft was talking to Glimmer, when Glimmer was like kind of at odds with us and being like, hey, what's going on? I'm sorry that we got off on the wrong foot. What's happening with this? And just like better communication skills, I think, is something that anyone can get by playing tabletop RPGs more.
Yeah.
I was surprised that Kraft was just like, no, Glimmer's cool. Connor needs to get over it. Like that was just the wildest choice for me.
It wasn't even that. It was just like, I think both Julia and Kraft realized at the same time, why is Glimmer at such odds with us? And also, like, this seems so unnecessary. Let's just hash it out and figure out what's going on.
True.
I think Eric has spoken really beautifully about this in terms of like working in creative partnerships and having people with different competencies and interests and skill sets come together to make a balanced party. And you don't have to be good at everything, but someone does have to be responsible for each thing. And so I think when approaching life as a group project where you get to ideally do the things you're best at, but everyone pitches in to get the job done is really lovely. And just overall, like that first sort of understanding D&D like bonuses and skills and just the distribution of being, low in constitution but high in charisma, that remains just a useful like heuristic for thinking about the things that come easy to me and the things that don't in a way that's not judgmental. And it's like, okay, like I still have to do things that involve dexterity, even if that doesn't have like a high base stat. And so I might need a little extra time or practice. And that it's morally neutral how your stats are distributed.
For me, I think the thing that sticks out most is like a little bit meta, I guess, but like playing the same thing for so long with the same people showed like me for when digesting other art, how people reveal themselves through their art and like seeing the author or the player or whatever it is in the art they create. And it sort of changed the way I view media a little bit.
Wow.
But yeah, I was already perfect otherwise, so nothing else from that front. Yeah.
I think the intentionality of games and like seeing how things are put together, I really started to see the components of that. And when writing my own games and then developing shows was a real big deal for those things. So that's definitely the thing that I picked up the most. The other stuff is in the next question, which I definitely want to say.
Excellent. I'll read it now. What's something you know now about actual play podcasting or podcasting in general / interacting with your audience that you didn't when you started and wish you had?
Yeah, the biggest thing to me is that like everyone has stuff going on. And when they express that in a way that you don't like, it means that they feel safe to do that. And unfortunately, it's like something that just ends up happening. But you're like, if someone says something really weird to me, I'm like, you really like my shit, don't you? And that was always something that I found it was easier for me to deal with if someone was like saying something about my work or something that was totally off the wall. Also with the people who ended up guesting. I mean, actual play has gotten so popular, and it's definitely been a way for people to like live their entertainment dreams. And a lot of stuff got really cutthroat for a while. And I'm like, if that's how you want to play it, I guess that's up to you. Godspeed. And it's funny seeing something that was like Brandon and I being like, what if we tried this in like 2016, and how important it's become to so many people's like entertainment careers.
I would say that like the intentionality with which Brandon and Eric started thinking about the show, and then I contributed to like, we had like our first ever, whiteboard day using your offices and your office equipment, on a weekend to think through what that looked like. And then Julia coming in, playing Cole. That was another moment where Julia playing Cole in campaign 1, I was like, oh shit, like this is look at what my friend can do. I didn't know she could do. It was amazing. All of that stuff adding up together just reminds me about how being a fan and being a critical consumer of media that means something to you is the best possible qualification you could have for doing that. I think that's true of work, of politics, of life, of friendship, but like doing it and paying attention to how you do it makes you better. And like to this day, like, we all now have careers in podcasting built off in many ways and inspired by, and in ways we're trying to like keep proving and keep putting into practice those first ideas that we had, all the way back in campaign 1. So certainly we've learned a lot. The landscape has changed immensely. If you don't have video with your actual play podcast, like it really is a different beast and tier than it was 10 years ago. But overall, like the fundamentals are so right. And listening to stuff, having opinions about it, talking it through with your friends, and trying to make something that fits into the landscape that, in our case, like doesn't require hundreds of hours of pre-listening, doesn't require you to be like a cis male Christian white nerd in the 80s to then get all the references, and welcomes people who have historically felt unwelcome in these spaces, is fundamentally a good idea. And approaching projects from that way is even truer. It's like when we look back on our teenage selves and we're like, wow, we kind of were smart then. Like that's how I feel about us 10 years ago.
Yeah. I feel like I don't really have a good answer to this question, which I don't want it to feel like a cop-out or anything. But the thing that if I was going to tell myself, 10 years ago, just in general, because they talked about podcasting in general, is like, hey, this is a real job you can have. And being able to do this as a full-time job is a incredible gift that I don't want to ever feel like I am overlooking or not appreciating.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I didn't have a great answer to this besides just like, I would like to know, it would be nice to know like the hype cycles for various things in podcasting and in actual play, and not needing to get involved in them if I didn't need to or what. Like it's hard to pivot so quickly, and like you can't ever really like catch the wave if you're catching the wave, if you're trying to catch the wave. So yeah, but other than that, I think you, Eric and Amanda both had good answers. Julie's, you're sucked. I'm sorry.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm totally kidding. I'm sorry.
Shelby asks, what character did you learn the most from or grow the most personally while playing? Is there an arc you want to go back and experience to play again from any campaign? Not to redo, just to experience.
I think for me, it was Cammy in terms of learning the most from and growing the most from. Cammy was like a particular challenge that I gave myself, which is like, what if I had a character who is not me, which is, I think, the situation I had at that point with Val and Phoebe, and is directed by one like particular motivation, which for Cammy, I thought was unabridged radical kindness and trying to approach everything with that. And I failed at times. And that was something that like I struggled with, but creating that character specifically to give myself that challenge, I think was really, really important to me as a player.
It's lovely.
I like that.
You bring so much intention to everything you do in this podcast and in life, Julia. I really admire it.
Hey, thanks.
On the opposite side, no, I didn't learn anything from any of my characters. They all suck. So,
Great.
No. I was trying to bring so much reality to my characters post-campaign 1 that, like, I did not have the one step further that Julia did. So, I don't know that I, like, learned or grew from most, but the character, I mean, I just let it go back and play less again. That would be fun, just to redo that experience. But yeah.
The only time we had a player-on-player potential romance, too.
True.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I was so caught up in trying to play like Inara was like the teen version of myself that I wish I was. Aggie so close to me in so many ways. Carrie Ann kind of like cracked things open a little bit in that she was like an exaggerated version of me. But I think when I got to Troy Riptide, it was a big difference for me because he was no brains, just vibes, obviously. And it was a difference because in campaigns 1, 2, and even the campaign, I was just trying really hard not to fuck up. I was trying hard to like know the rules, not embarrass myself, not embarrass others, not embarrass like the people who see, you know, a first time player on a show and like that helps them out. And so playing like a character that I could relate to that was very close to me felt like a safe route in. And by the time we got to Troy, I asked myself, like, what would be the most fun? What would be a good addition to this universe? And like, what characters suited the class that I was choosing? And it was fucking fun. And like, just being able to like, I don't know, play your id and say funny things and not always worry about being useful to the group, but true to yourself. There's probably a lot of tape on the cutting room floor of me being like, guys, like Troy, I think Troy would want to do this, but like, is that okay? And Julia and Brandon being like, yes, bitch, like do it. That's games.
What was I doing when you were playing Troy?
Probably putting your crystal glove up to your mouth and being like, whatever you think.
Right.
It really changed how I think about like myself as a person and having worth outside of utility and like value.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot. And now I too am a himbo. So
for me, you know, I feel like my worlds are the things that I put myself into. Like the NPCs, not necessarily like I created them to be fun or to, you know, create functions or to be archetypes, but like the worlds themselves and like the challenges that you were a part of, that was the thing I wanted to do the most. I think that the challenges in campaign 2 were the things that I grew the most from, of like confronting the city I lived in and, you know, that time during COVID and like what I wish things could do. I think that like superheroes is still like my favorite genre, even though it's a little played out at this point. But, you know, like what do you do when you have power and no one can advise you is a very important thing to me and something I've struggled with and still struggle with.
You have superpowers?
Oh, God, I wish, man. I wish. That would be so sick.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't have to figure this shit out. I could just do that instead. So I think that is the one that I grew the most from, of like challenging myself to tell a story and do conflict in a way that I wanted to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Tanky Doodle Dandy asks, when deciding on new campaigns over the years, were there any world ideas, story ideas, game systems that you loved and never came to fruition on the pod? Any characters you designed and ended up not playing?
Rip fiasco.
Julia.
Shout out to Captain Copernicus
Yeah.
Cobb. RIP to a real one. In terms of like campaigns and story ideas, there's really only like 2 that stick out in my mind. I was really pushing for space.
Yeah.
I think I was really the only one interested in doing like a hard sci-fi space like that.
That's not true. That's not true.
But I
Yeah.
love how interested you were, Julia.
Well, listen, that's totally fine. And then the other one that stands out to me as like, oh yeah, that was a thing that someone suggested, was Brandon really wanted to do like Redwall-esque sort of style games. So like we all would play little animals.
Which I maintain we got at with the green folk.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We didn't incorporate it, yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I remember Monster of the Week was going to be more Scooby-Doo at some point before we ended up going like summer camp instead. I also remember something about cowboys. We were really close to deciding between cowboys and pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going to do like
Yes.
maybe Weird West,
Weird
West.
sort of vibes. Yeah.
I would still totally play in that as a home campaign.
That is not my setting. I'm not a big fan of Weird West.
That's not your ministry.
not my ministry.
Are you from Texas or something?
But Brandon, there would be no water. It would be your favorite.
And for me, I did not design any characters that I did not end up playing because I only took one shot at my characters.
No, actually, that's not true, Brandon, because I
What?
remember a character idea that you had for campaign 2,
Oh.
which was very like Purple Man-esque
Oh,
from Jessica
yes.
Jones. But you wanted to make them like a therapist that could like help people quit smoking and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was I forget the name of the character archetype or whatever it was, but there was a type of character that was like mastermind or something,
Mhm.
and it's just too many implications.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
were going to be a rogue mastermind archetype. And I was just like, I feel like that was also around the time that the TV version of the Umbrella Academy was coming out. And it was very like, I heard a rumor as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bray, Emily Slaughter's intern, says, "Play with me in the space. Multitude Comics is publishing a special edition giant-size Join the Party omnibus, a collection of all the comics and stories from everyone's favorite actual play podcast. What moment or image from all of Join the Party would you choose as the cover of the book?"
Oof.
Can I tell you what popped into mind for me?
Yes.
Mhm.
Either the Time Shark Time Sea, just because I think that's close to my particular heart,
Mm-hmm.
but also the finale of Campaign 1. Like
Mm.
having it was like the Avengers assemble of like everyone we knew and loved from so many previous arcs. It was our longest campaign, if I remember correctly, or close to it. And it felt like the scene in the movie where everyone gets to come together for a common goal. And it was so cinematic, like the setting and the way it was set and the way Brandon sound designed it afterward. That just feels like a GIF where you can have like a sweeping camera shot of just like going around the whole assembly and seeing everybody there. So good.
Can I pitch you Animorph style, where we're at the bottom and each of our characters is one of the Animorphs?
All 5?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was going to say Kaiju Battle from Campaign 2.
Oh, that was so
Oh,
good.
that was so
Mm.
sick. Fuck, I forgot about that. I
Yeah.
worked so hard on that.
It was really good.
I like bought like a whole game system to how to do kaiju so I could split the radiated mountain lobster into parts. That was wild.
Mm-hmm. Sick as hell.
So good.
I was thinking the cover would be all of the pets on like kind of like snuggling together in a pile
That'd be
Aw.
cute.
with the oat cake, with tuna, with nani pizza. Yeah.
Everyone pick your favorite pet now.
Thank you. EP Fellow wants us to. Just one of the pets from all campaigns. Who would you want as a real life pet is EP's question. Absolutely tuna. I
Tuna.
sign up for the mayhem.
Yeah.
I know it's the wrong choice. I sign up.
I want tuna too, even though I'm allergic to tunas.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you're allergic to ghost
we've
cats.
talked about this. Not the ghost
Do
cats.
they have dander? I guess not. Yeah.
Mhm,
Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, I wouldn't want to be able to talk to them to tuna. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Tuna is my favorite pet. Absolutely. Maybe because I felt like I had the most control over tuna, and then tuna like had the most personality in all comparison. I did like Nani as well. Nani was so sweet.
Eric, can you give us a little like the tuna wrist that got you into character just one more time?
Oh, I can't even remember.
Just like, ugh.
Oh yeah. What do you do?
There it is.
You're gonna finish that? Can I have some? I already ate it.
I already spit up in your dinner. Can I finish it?
I did put ghost poop in your shoes. Is that bad?
Mixel says, "What is your favorite character you played, and what do you think is your best character?"
Oh,
I love
good
this.
question.
My favorite character to play was Phoebe.
Yeah.
My best character was Val.
Mm.
My favorite character to play was Umbi because I love doing that voice.
I'll be
Insane.
ripped.
And just having a chaotic old man is fun. What is the best character?
I think it might be Umbi too. Umbi was really powerful.
Okay.
I mean, your most beloved character may remain Tracy.
True.
And that was just like such a fully realized character also.
Yeah.
So a lot to choose from. I'm kind of torn. I loved playing Carrie Ann and also Troy. I think my best character... this is hard for me because I feel like I wasn't as interesting as I could have been as Aggie, but interesting stuff happened to her, and just like her centrality as like a custodian of the museum, I think was cool. I'm not sure. Dr. Bertha Bones is my best character. What am I saying?
Yes, sorry.
Sorry, fuck. No, I'm wrong.
Oh, Arnold Palmer's up there
Oh
too.
my God,
That's
Arnold
right.
Palmer.
Oh my God.
I love an old man.
You do. You love an old man.
Call Me Kit 15 asks, who would win in a fight between all of your previous characters?
I think it depends on if we're doing like just campaign PvP or if we're doing all campaigns overall.
All campaigns, PvP.
Oh, just PvP, like no villains in the fight.
No,
Yeah.
just PvP. I think Cammy could beat most of the other characters in the campaigns.
Interesting.
Cammy had so many cool spells.
She is a literal bush, and your other character is a fire person.
I'm talking about mechanically, Brandon. I'm talking about if we break out our character sheets.
I was tempted to say Rowan, but I don't think she would think about all the ways that Cammy could fuck her up because magic isn't real.
Right.
Yeah.
I have to say, Umbi, he would plant bombs in all your beds while you're sleeping and fuck you all up.
Umbi would be the craftiest by far, definitely.
Umbi is the closest to Brandon, I have to confirm. Mage Silverleaf asks, what was your favorite scene from across all of the campaigns? Mine is the lottery. I especially love that I wasn't there for it. And then Julia, left the recording and Eric was like, yeah, I fucked Julia up a bit. And I was like, what? And then I got to listen to it. God, that was good.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think I answered this earlier. I think it was the lottery and also the reveal of the time loop in Campaign 2.
Yeah, I think I covered it earlier with my boat scene.
Oh wait, and how about when Alonso's husband entered the scene? That was epic.
I
That was a
forgot
good
about
character
that.
entrance.
That was so long ago. God, that was so long ago.
You forgot about Alonso?
No, I never forgot about Alonso.
Fuck.
I forgot about the other guy,
Greg.
Greg. Oh, Greg.
Greg.
What was my favorite scene? I there's so many. It's hard for me. It's honestly hard for me to pick.
Yeah, that's fair.
The ones I've said before about like the things that I planned for, I think about how much the work I put into prep and then seeing how people enjoyed it, I think was always going to be the thing. So it's like the scenes themselves. I remember like how much time I put into planning the time loop. I remember planning the in the campaign, walking through the forest when you guys got separated.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big one I cared a lot about, for sure.
I thought the Labyrinth 2 from Campaign 3 was incredible.
Yes.
In terms of like your planning.
Oh God, with the labyrinth, yeah, that was fun. And then the thing with the fire, that was fun.
Mage asks a specific question for Brandon. What does the improvement in your dice rolling over the course of 4 seasons say about your personal growth?
It says nothing because my dice rolling did never improve. It was always statistically spot on.
Average.
And if anyone wants to prove me wrong, you can go back and listen to all the episodes and count every dice roll I ever made, and I will give you $30 to do so.
Someone was doing it. Someone started doing that.
At one
Yeah.
point.
Someone can pick it up at any point.
I just also want to, just unrelated to anything, shout out Silverleaf. I'm pretty sure we're good pals on Pokemon Pocket. And
Hilarious.
This is the only type of parasocial relationship you're allowed to have with our audience.
Soup Dumpling asks, what was each of your favorite character voices and NPC voices? Kolsch, Soup Dumpling's newest dog, favorite voice is Cammy from Campaign 3.
Oh.
He perks up and runs over to me every time I'm playing, alone.
Aww.
That's really sweet. Is it because it's like Cammy's like in the range of the
I don't
dog
know.
hearing
Yeah,
best?
Cammy's
That's
the
cute.
highest pitched voice we really do on the show, so that makes sense. NPC voice, Boo, 100%.
Oh, I love Boo. Boo.
Boo!
And I still love the Val voice, but I also love the subtlety that was the Phoebe voice, which was like, I'm just starting to go through.
That's really good.
I'm just starting to go through the all of the changes to my body.
That's a good question. Obviously, I love Umbi's voice for character voice.
Ups.
NPC voice is difficult, though.
Wordsmith underrated for me for his voice.
So good.
That made me very happy with that. I loved all of our like deep voice characters. Like I loved being Dez the most.
Mhm.
Probably just like while I was running that. It's like being able to have both January and Dez in the same scene was really fun.
Mhm.
I think I have to say January. Now that you've
January's
brought it up.
good.
That's probably my favorite NPC voice. Yeah.
I think nothing's going to beat Sunchuck McGarry for me.
Fair.
It might be a recency
Hey, girl.
bias.
Fair.
Dr. Bertha Bones is great, but it's some good shit,
Mm-hmm.
Cat Roses asks, this campaign really shined on how each of you have grown and how your play styles, or in Eric's case, DMing, has grown. What do you think has changed the most in the way each of you plays?
I think particularly this season, the approach of how to solve problems, this particular use of masks really gave me a new perspective on how to approach dilemmas in gameplay and not just be like, how can I break this, but rather, how can we resolve this?
You're choosing peace at every turn, Julie. It's not relatable, but I love it.
Listen, this was the campaign that really changed that for me, and I love that.
Yeah, I think a similar way, like just all four of us playing together for so long and slowly refining how we like literally play, like in the improv sense and things like that, like has made me a better player of like not immediately assuming NPCs are out to get you, or like there's a million little things like that. But I think over time, my player/character arc has been like super self-conscious to normal to back to not self-conscious, but in a like useful way, like in a way that's still playing with other players and DM. So
Masks really challenged me to make things fun and propulsive even without the game mechanics. Like this was definitely the most like lyrical game we've played, the most like narrative, but it's also a game I love dearly and the most like form following function we've done. And, trying to tell a story without it feeling like episodic in that way, like this really felt comic booky again, like it did in Campaign 2, or this felt like a superhero cartoon. As I said, this really felt like Teen Titans. I think this was also the one where it exemplified, I think, the way that I interact with all three of you the most. encouraging Amanda to go as hard as she wanted to. And I think that, like, when we were talking about how Rowan felt dour for a while, and I really am like, what if Voidy Lynn existed? I mean, what if, like, you had like like something in your head that pushed you to be powerful, and then Voidy Lynn came together. With Brandon, it was like, you can take Connor wherever you want. Like, we have some themes here, but like Connor, I think, started out the most like Brandon as a person, and then you were allowed to do it as him being someone. His negotiation stuff felt like what Brandon was like the most when we worked together, and then seeing where that went into what directions, and be like, I'll go where you go. I'll do the conflict the way you want to, and that's why the conflict between Connor and Anita became so central to the storytelling. And I just got to keep up with Julia.
Gotta keep up with me. Never to go where I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna keep up with you, and I'm gonna top it, and I'm gonna throw masked lesbians in your way.
Hell yeah!
And Dr. Prometheus is going to be so insane that you're gonna have to deal with it.
My favorite things.
And if I can get ahead of Julia and throw something in her way, then it's gonna be good.
Watch out!
I think the way I have changed in my play is being confident in knowing enough, and also treating TTRPGs but also life as a group project, and just the difference in being able to turn to Julia and Brandon and say, like, how do you think we should handle this? Which I started to do in Campaign 2 is like a thing that I try to do in all of life now. And that's very much going from like the kid that all the other kids relied on to do the group project. And then I was just like, okay, I guess this is what I do, to, seeing this as a source for fun and being surprised and trusting that my collaborators and loved ones will want to figure it out with me, and that we're going to come up with something better together than any of us could on our own, is really a fundamental shift.
Love it.
Oh, one last thing. I think also I loved these NPCs the most. Miriam, Emily Slaughter, Rick.
The return of Emily Slaughter, no less.
The return of Emily Slaughter, Miss Rita, and Wordsmith, and Dr. Rom were expressions of, like, I indulged that with the campaign as well, but I feel like all of those were like definitely parts of myself in a way that I had not done in other campaigns.
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
Very important, quick power ranking from Ginger. Rank all your PCs across all campaigns from gayest to least gay for research purposes. Go.
I'll go first because none of my characters are gay for specific, I don't want to represent you and I'm not gay reasons.
So it's Milo and then everyone else. Gotcha. Actually, no, canonically, Umbi had both husbands and wives.
That's true.
So.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah, you said that multiple times.
Yeah, bisexual somewhere in there.
If I said that, I did not mean to. I meant just wives.
No, it's fine. Relax.
Underrated moment was the funeral in Campaign 1 and all of the husbands and wives showing up. That was great. I really enjoyed that.
Gayest to least gay is Val, Kraft, Cammy, Phoebe, Amanda.
Okay. I think it's Inara, Aggie, Rowan, Troy, Carrion.
Gotcha. Cool. Anyway, just wanted to touch on that. I thought it was fun.
That's kind of surprised that you put Troy second last or second most.
Second last.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because he was like kind of ace.
Yeah.
Oh, he was ace. I always forget that.
And I think he's like, his presence in his ace identity is not like a huge part of his life right now. That might change.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to rank all my NPCs from least to most Jewish. Let's go.
And see the Discord for that. I think that would be awesome.
It's one line that they're all equal.
It's the Christian devil and then everyone else.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
All right, folks, some questions here from Sweet TJ. What is everyone else's favorite Brandon Yes Banana moment?
All of them, baby.
Umbi in general was peak Yes Banana. I think speaking of Troy being asexual, I just thought about Lucky Edie. And Lucky Edie tried to flirt with Troy and talking to Umbi, and Umbi's like, why is this woman cold?
I'm cold.
I'm so cold. It's so chilly. Umbi in general.
Yeah, every Umbi moment is true, 100%. My favorite Brandon Yes Banana moment is the army of frozen turkeys from Campaign 2.
That was really good.
God, that was fun when we like just did like a speed round of like a bunch of on the conflict table. I love the conflict table. That was great.
Was that even me?
It was
I don't
you.
even know if that was me, but that was a fun moment.
It was 100%
It was. Bitch, it was.
Because it was also in the fall, too. So I was transitioning between seasons. And that was like, there was like a fight in like a supermarket. And Milo put ghost spirits in a bunch of turkeys.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the professor?
It was the emperor or whatever the
It was
fuck
the
his name was.
professor.
Appropriative professor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite Julia character voice? It's got to be Cammy for me. No, it has to be Val. Fuck. No, it's Val. It's Val.
It's Val. It's Val.
It's Cammy for me because of the lottery.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Favorite part of Amanda's 9-year arc of zero experience to shot caller / devil killer player.
Yeah, when Amanda unveiled fucking Troy, we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Prince Troy Riptide is the answer to that question.
It was the time shark for me. It was Amanda. We've done a lot of collaboration in those things. So like that was definitely the first time where it felt like you were definitely owning it and allowing yourself to do something sick. Because I remember, because it was like, you can do this. It was just a consequence of a role.
Yes.
It's like, you can do this. We can do whatever you want. And you're like, I'm changing subclasses. I'm like, great, let's do it.
And if any of the players could play as any of Eric's NPCs, who would you pick?
Rick Powers.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good answer.
I think if I had to dress up as someone for a live show, it would be Steven.
That's fun.
That you could just borrow clothes from my closet.
Yeah, exactly.
I have so many Hawaiian shirts.
I'll just stitch a few together from the Target Boys XL into a woman's double extra L, but I can do that.
Sure. I feel like it's one of the pirates. Oh, it's Kid Cervantes.
Kid Cervantes, fucking love good. Kid Cervantes. Love that guy. Mm-hmm. Everyone from the Bullseye games. I love the Bullseye games.
That arc is a vibe.
The Bullseye games and it calling back to Bachelorette Party. Was just God making tournament arcs for myself. What a love.
I think Bachelorette Party is the arc I'd experience again just for the love of the game. So much fun.
That was fun. Tracy hating it and still like him continuously getting like more and more in trouble was very fun.
That's because I don't know if I ever said this. Tracy was definitely ace as well. Mm-hmm. So like, yeah. That was the reason he didn't enjoy that.
From Frank Partybow, Eric, your GM style, greatest in podcasting, has inspired me to take on more leadership positions in my life, where I give my players and members more voice to do what they want, and I serve as a conduit for their vision. Are there any takeaways from your time with Join the Party that you think are beneficial for other young leaders or DMs? Any special tricks to make collaborative decision-making easier? What a great question.
Yeah, I feel like I've been saying the same stuff for a long time, but I believe it so deeply. Like, I remember saying this at, like, PodCon 2 next to Griffin McElroy, and it was like, you need to remember your notes are a hand of cards, that, like, you can deploy things in your notes in any order you want, and you don't have to tell anyone what it is, but, like, your prep is your prep. The other thing is, like, your notes and the way that you do things are a house, and your players need to move in and change what it is. Like, a room is just a room. It's not a living room or a bedroom or, like, a outdoor space until they get in there. The other thing is, like, ask questions and, do world building games to have your players be more invested so they'll love the world just as much as you do. I think I really tried to balance that. Campaign 3 was a real demonstration of that, where, like, I really wanted you to be invested by, like, doing a theme and you trying to come up with your choose countries and things, but revealing I really was excited about revealing the world to you three. So, like, finding a balance between those two is the way to get your players involved.
Hell yeah.
And finally, a question from Bray, Emily Slaughter's intern. What is the best thing the show gave you? And what's the best thing you feel you gave the show?
I gave the show 10 years of my youth.
I think the best thing the show gave me is just the ability to get to play tabletop RPGs as my job each and every week. What a incredible concept. How lucky are we? What a gift. What a gift.
Yeah, I'll second that. Like, I don't have any other home games at this point. So, like, this is the only way I got to play D&D or RPGs. So, the seconded.
This show gave me the confidence that sometimes being a beginner is lovely, and I can show up and be myself, however weird and strange and unexpected that might be, and that can be enough.
The show told me that I was good at something and that I could pursue it, and I feel like I loved it so much and I let it destroy me, and that's what I gave the show. Is like I gave the show everything. This was my creative practice for the entire time that it went, and it was definitely a big part of who I considered myself to be. So I feel like the show gave me an opportunity, and I kind of gave it everything.
Love it.
All right, folks, the sun is coming up. The after party has lasted the length of the night and into the next morning.
Damn.
There are waffles and breakfast tacos and smoothies and yogurt waiting for us in the other room. What's next? What do we have to know?
Oh, was that a question from our longest running patron, Tom Grugle? My dad, shout out.
Daddy Gurgle?
God, shout out to Tom Grugle, by far the parent who's listened to this show the most out of all.
We love you,
parents.
Tom. Thank you for being perhaps our first patron.
Jeez.
I think he was, and the longest.
I need to give Amanda a quick shout out. Tommy Gurgle. Pretty funny.
Julia, I said Daddy Gurgle. And Tom, if I ever meet you, I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry, Daddy Gurgle.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I don't work in Multitude anymore, so I'm figuring out what's happening for me there. I'm definitely trying to write fiction. That's the thing, is like I want to have a creative thing that has my name on it at the top. And I'm still writing tabletop RPGs. The true crime game will come out at some point. I need to get that formatted. So just, follow me. I don't know what's happening next, but hopefully you'll hear on the feed what's going on with me.
Is that our last Who Can Say?
Who can say indeed?
I would love to be able to say, but who can say, truly?
Yeah, no, I am excited for Spirits is celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year. Multitude has some exciting stuff on the horizon, and if there is anything that is relevant to the people listening to this, again, you'll probably hear it on the feed, but there's no current plans at least for me.
Yeah, samesies.
Yeah, I'm excited about the future. I'm trying to replace this energy in my life with other creative practice as well. I'm dusting off the old YouTube channel. That is a thing that you can click on the link in the description and check out my adolescent hobby of making video blogs now as an adult, and just trying to give it my all because we only got one life to live,
Hell yeah.
Love it. Before we leave, I do want to mention that all of our merch is on super sale at jointhepartypod.com/merch, as well as our Dispel dice are on sale. If you use the code JTP15 on their website, you can get $15 off the dice there. So go get it while it's hot, folks.
Woo! This podcast feed will be here. All the Patreon benefits remain on Patreon for all current members, and you can always purchase ad-free and other stuff, the music, games, anything you might want. We will see you in Discord, because even though the party is over, you don't have to go home, folks. You can relive it whenever you want.
Love it.
And folks, for our final time, bye.
Later.
Bye.
See you later, folks.